All right, so I was going to ask you, to come straight to the point, yeah?
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the term pretty privilege? And would you say that you have been beneficiary of such privilege?
I have.
You have?
Yeah.
So let me ask you the other question,
Yeah.
which is the more important question. So you understand and acknowledge that pretty privilege is a thing.
Yeah.
And you have fortunately been able to fall into the category. But do you feel like you deserve to be in the category?
I'm pretty.
Straight up.
Yes. It's a Fast and Furious song.
It's some kind of
From Tokyo Drift.
Mr. Wolf. Mr. Wolf.
Yeah.
When you hear that music, what do you think?
I didn't have a thought in my head.
I'm surprised. What do you think when you hear that music?
Vibe.
That is that kind of funk, bruv.
I love it, bruv.
That is from Tokyo Drift. I wonder if they know how we live in Tokyo. If you see it, I keep the beat out of that.
I don't.
Hey,
Tokyo
shout-
just the one I don't remember at all.
Shout out Hope. Shout out Hope.
I remember that
Shout out Hands.
vividly, bro.
Shout out Hope because she loves that one as well, man.
But Tokyo Drift.
The song.
Oh, the song.
Yeah. Everyone likes that. That is Neptune's produced.
I don't know. I can't remember it at all.
Go on YouTube, man. That's got
Shout out Fast and Furious.
half a billion views.
Shout out Hands. That's what I'm saying, man.
We're going to talk about Fast and Furious.
Hands is that guy, and he'll always be that guy.
No spoilers. But we'll talk
Who's
about
Hans?
it.
Hands
Do you like Fast and Furious?
the Japanese guy that's actually Korean.
No.
I'll see.
You don't like Fast and Furious?
I liked it up to like the third one.
Oh, what's wrong with you, lot, man? You're missing the good ones then. You haven't seen Brazil?
No.
This is Brazil.
Brazil's the best one. The first one that the Rock is in, I think that's
Yeah.
Brazil.
Yeah.
That is
Number
the
5.
best one.
Fast 5 is the one.
That's the best one.
But we'll discuss that because Fast and Furious 9 has recently been released. I've realized it because I thought it was just like the siblings, but my family is a Fast and Furious family. Yeah, my wife. I went to watch it with my wife. She came out near enough to do cartwheels.
I need to be in Fast and Furious. I need to be in one of them.
Now is it out now?
Yeah, come out on Thursday. Yes. What's today? Saturday. It came out 2 days ago.
Yeah, man.
Yes, we are recording on Saturday the 26th.
26.
Shout out birthday boy Hot
Say
Rod.
it.
Lord.
Oh, shout him out, bro.
Rodney.
Yeah.
Big him up. Big him up.
Rodney.
Rodney.
Yes.
I got fun memories.
Friend of the pod.
Everyone's got fond memories of him.
He's a funny man.
He's a good guy. He's my brother.
Yeah.
Went on two stags. Two stags.
He went on yours and mine, innit?
Yes.
Yes.
I sent him a birthday message. He sent me a kiss, a blow kiss with a love heart.
You know, one of my favorite memories. One of my favorite memories of him, yeah, just to go if we go down memory lane, is that on Stav's birthday, me and my dad, I think we went to go Tesco for something. I don't know what we was going there for, yeah, and we saw him in Tesco because he was coming to visit Stav. And I'm like, what are you doing there, brother? Because I see him with a loaf of bread. He goes, I'm buying your brother a loaf of bread because that's what I know he likes. And he was, and it was the economy bread as well. He goes, I know your brother likes the economy bread. I'm always dissing him about the bread that he eats. So I thought, let me just go and buy him a loaf for his birthday. And that's why he came with a loaf of bread, you know.
The good old days when I would actually see my bedroom.
Those are them's his real friends, boy.
Yeah, boy.
Out here buying you bread.
See,
bread.
This is what I know. Same thing that I was saying a minute ago when I was saying that Stab was talking to my brethren about ever. You know, he talking to me. The first thing he goes to me is, "Voila, what? Stop going Costco." Because I know that's where you spend all your money. and I was like, it's true. Because I did a little calculation the other day. I got an app that tells me where I spend all my money and stuff, yeah?
Oh, your bedroom said that?
Yeah.
That's what he told me,
yeah,
brother.
he said, and I said to him, you're going to live long, bro, because I did this thing yesterday. Because I was talking to our sister, we was there in the house together. And I was going through this app that shows me all the things I spent money on, like all the different shops.
Oh, you got one of them apps now?
Oh man,
It's for somebody like you. It's helpful if you're not because you don't pay no mind until you're spending your money.
I spend my money when I'm spending my money. I know what I spend my money, but
Okay, but give me the story about how you didn't realize how much you're spending in the shop.
No. This is different. I know how much I spent already.
Okay.
But it's just when you see the difference between that shop and another one, it's amazing. So I'm not gonna do this. How much do you think I'm just gonna tell you? In this past maybe a couple of years or something, I've spent £15,000 in Costco. Over £15,000
Are you serious?
in Costco alone.
Have you bought furniture though?
No,
But that includes petrol.
that includes petrol.
Yeah.
Right?
So
And I
you
think
do all your petrol,
majority is going to be petrol. But it's also going to include some of the wedding stuff. Shout out my second year anniversary, by the way, that happened this week.
Gaza.
Hold on, wait.
Yeah, and all that.
Well done.
But £15,000. Well, in fact, it's almost, you might as well say call it 16. In Costco alone.
In how long? You said a couple of years.
Must be about 4 or 5 years.
But that's not bad.
Man, double, nearly tripled it, you know.
Well, however long I've been living in
Two
that-
is two.
How old is your child?
Should be 5 next week.
So it's got to be almost 5 years probably in that time.
That's not bad. 15.
Is that your
15
barometer for when you moved? Well, you didn't disclose. Sorry, go on.
15 grand over 5 years is not bad.
That's what I thought. But then I looked at my Tesco.
Yeah, which was your previous.
Exactly, that's my original wife, isn't it?
That's your ex, yeah.
And that was only about £3,000, £4,000. And I was like, how? How can that be such a...
What,
Because
same time
you buy
period?
big things, innit? You're not buying big things in Tesco. You buy milk, sugar,
I don't go to
bread.
Tesco anymore. I've divorced Tesco.
You buy. No, but I'm saying when you went there, that's what you're spending money on it. Your goods. Whereas you could have bought a chain, a vacuum cleaner. You
You don't even need to even think about that.
All of that stuff in Costco.
Costco is so much more expensive than everywhere else unnecessarily because everything is bigger in it. So when I might go and buy I might just go to Costco to go and buy, I don't know, eggs.
Kitchen roll.
I'll end up buying 50 eggs for £5. Yeah, kitchen roll £20. You come at 100 kitchen rolls. So yeah, man. But yeah, Costco £15,000.
That's not bad because I think what's it called? My Amex Gold card is telling me that if I spend 15 grand in a year, that they'll give me extra points. So if you've done it over 5 years, it's not that bad.
No, but that's one shop. I'm not talking about. I don't even want to talk about how much I spent on my actual stuff alone. But just that Costco. I love it.
Have you got shares?
I was going to ask, like,
My thinking is now to buy shares in companies that I actually give my money to in the first place.
So you're doing it like what's his name? What's the one that's going out with Laurie Harvey?
Michael B. Jordan.
That's the one.
Killmonger.
Yeah, that went to go and buy.
Is that what he
shares.
said?
No, he bought shares in
Yes, we know
the Hermes thing, innit?
Yeah.
And gave her the shares.
Gave her the shares instead of the bag.
Yeah, but that's different. I'm still gonna buy the goods.
Yeah, he's probably still gonna buy the goods as well. But now that he's buying, he's putting money back into his own pocket.
It's better that way. That's how you get the discounts, isn't it?
Well, you have to buy a lot of shares before it comes back to you like that.
His money is not our money.
But to be honest, yeah, maybe he has bought enough
His
shares.
money
That
is not our
if he
money.
buys a bag,
Let's not think about it like his money.
What's
is
the
not our
membership
money.
for that now? Because I know that my one needs to be.
I thought you was talking about for the Hermes.
No, Costco.
I don't know actually.
I said Hermes on membership.
I think it's 30
What
for the year.
I don't know. I got the black card.
Oh.
Oh yeah,
Look
of
at
course
black.
you would.
Look at black.
Of course you would.
I got the black one. I got the double.
Listen, they
this.
disrespected
I got
me.
the blah blah blah.
I was
blah,
spending all this money, and then when I went to go and collect all my, because I get cash back, I went to go collect my cash back. They were telling me I couldn't take it. Telling me I have to give it to my wife has to come. I was upset. I was vexed. I was like, what do you mean?
Under her name, yeah, innit?
Oh, yeah, but I said, so what? You said this card was my card. I'll be using it.
So then they
all
just gave you your own card.
No, you got two cards. Now when I went back there,
No, I've got because mine is under my wife's name as well.
I've got two cards, innit? One for me, one for my wife.
Yes, same with me and her, but
The membership
But
is in.
I'm like sub her membership.
Yeah, I'm some her, innit? So, but I went and took it. I told him to swap it over. And they was asking my wife, can we swap it over, ma'am? And she's like, oh, yes, you can. I'm like, you better swap it over after the amount of money I'm spending in this Costco.
What difference does it make? The cashback is coming back.
Yeah, but you come back to me. I'll go back and give it to her.
Your money's her money.
That's it.
Yes, but my Costco's my money.
Oh wow!
It's my Costco. Costco's mine. I collected all those points.
Georgette,
Hello.
when you settle down, are you going to be comfortable with a joint account or you want it to be individual?
I don't want a joint account.
Okay. Is that a Nigerian thing or a woman thing or just a you thing? Like, I'm asking you because you are Nigerian, you are a woman, and you are you, obviously, but you're going to speak, you're going to know more about what other women want and potentially more what Nigerian women want as well. You could just say, no, it's just me. But it's like, no, my girls is all like this or whatever.
No, you know what it is from my mum. That's like one of the first memories I ever recall from her being like, "Don't ever get a joint account with anybody." And I said, "Okay." Yeah.
It's good.
Don't share your
She
account.
said, "Don't do it."
Don't share it.
I think that's a Nigerian woman thing. Well, it's an African
I
woman
don't know. My wife will probably get a joint account. Whether or not she's gonna put her money in it is a completely different thing. But she will have a joint account. But I don't want to have one because I don't want her to see what I'm spending. Because then she'll see the Costco money is going elsewhere.
Because me and the missus, we have a joint account, but we don't do anything with it other than save. But once we purchase a new house, then bills are going to be coming from there. I've rejigged how we're going to do our finances. But that's all that's going to be coming from there. It's going to be like money's going to go in there, and the direct debits and certain things are going to come out of it, and then she'll have her allowance, I'll have my allowance. So so we're still not going to know what each other
allowance,
because that's what it is. It's not whereas now the money that comes in and goes out is so little that it's like we just spend flippantly, like without whatever. When we move and everything goes up quite a lot, we're not going to just be able to spend. So it's going to be, this is your wedge. It's just not going to be a big wedge now. It's going to be like, you're going to actually have to think about. Well,
what would you tell your daughter then? Would you tell her to have a joint account?
That's up to her. But the joint account or non-joint account is not the issue. Because for me and my missus, we're only doing it now because of we're buying a house together. And the money's going to be so much. Sorry?
Are you paying these bills?
If the money was smaller, like if what we were paying now for the mortgage, we were doing it like in the next place, then I'll just pay it, and it wouldn't be an issue. But because it's tripling or quadrupling, it's going to be a different story. So whatever. So for her, I would tell her it's not an issue of whether you have a joint account or a solo account. It's your mentality towards money with your partner. I don't want you and your partner shouldn't be thinking separate. That's my opinion. I know that a lot of people think that way, like your mother thinks that way. My mum has no issue thinking that way myself. I know there's boys, I'm not going to throw anybody into the pot, but just somebody, today is the 10th year, my Google Photos came up 10 years ago. Us mans, I don't think he wasn't there, was he?
I wasn't at that stuff.
We were at a stag do 10 years ago. So I said, it's your wedding anniversary, 10 years coming up soon. He said, yeah, the secret is, he gave a list of things. But when I said it's separate bank accounts, that was one of his secrets to a happy marriage for 10 years. So I know that.
But who wanted that, him or her?
I don't know.
He didn't say. But money can cause a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's the main cause of issues in relationships.
And I think that a lot of the time regarding women as well, even though I'm not a woman, I'm just going to speak for them regardless.
Yes.
Is that in the past, obviously, men have been the one that's made all the money and yada yada yada. And then if anything push comes to shove or something mad happens, they'll just leave you the money. So it's better you have your own money separate. You keep yourself your own self. So if your man wants to go and start doing a madness, you got your money and you got yours in it.
Oh,
you don't. Yeah, because it's like a done thing. I was watching a program today actually where one woman, obviously it's a TV program, but it's kind of similar to what I was saying now, where the husband basically earns all the money and she doesn't earn any money. She wanted to divorce him, and the thing that the mum was saying to stay with him for is because what are you going to do with the money? You have nothing. You have nothing on the side because you've got nothing to keep. Yeah. So and then she has to go and sue him for money and blah blah blah. But if you got your own money, you got your own bank account, you got your own this thing, you keep it to the side. If anything I know you shouldn't wish bad things on a marriage, but if push comes to shove, then what happens. Like this shop now.
Why wouldn't you have your own bank account?
Because some people they don't put their money. Some people put all their money in the show thing. Like this shop now, yeah. I know that if anything push comes to shove, me and my wife ever break up, she's always gonna have her shop. I'm not gonna come to ever say to her, "This is my shop," or half this, that, or half that.
You say that now.
No, I would never do that. Regardless, whatever she does to me, I would never want to have anything to do with this stuff. This her stuff. But she's got her own thing in it. She's got her own thing, and I think that everyone in a relationship should have something that at least they can say, you know what, if push comes to shove, I've got my own thing.
I'm not. It's not an issue with having it, but I don't think that should be the mentality. The mentality should not be when I go into the relationship, I should have my own thing. I wouldn't teach my daughter that. Yeah, even though my brain is saying like what.
But it doesn't have to be a bad thing that it could bring. He could die, unfortunately, or something could happen, and no one knows. No one knows what's happening with the money, this, that, and the other. There might be.
You should know, like for instance, my wife has access to all my stuff. So just like you said, if something happens to me, she will have access to everything. Okay. So it's not about.
But I think a lot of the time, not everyone's gonna have knowledge of everything. Do you know what I mean? Because there's things that you asked me a question about life insurance. Like they're gonna have to find the papers in the house somewhere because I can't remember what this, that, and the other is. I know that I've got this, and I know that I'm paying for this, that, and the other for each other and both of us. But you gotta have to find it. Whereas if some people have their own things, it just makes it a lot easier. But for the first couple of months and whatever, and they go through that type of stuff, and
that don't make it easier. You just said you're talking about.
No, I'm talking about just. Sorry, tell me what you're saying before I'll say what I'm saying.
You're saying that having your own thing makes it easier.
Yeah, immediately. So you immediately know what you've got instead of you having to find out what's going on with the other person's thing.
But I'm confused. Okay.
Or maybe I'm saying it in the wrong way. But I'm saying I think you should have your own stuff just in case anything happens.
I just, for me, it's all. But end of the day, if that's what she wants to do, and if that's what the man wants to do, then so be it. It's end of the day, each relationship is different, and if it works for the two people that are actually in the relationship, if they're quite happy having their own separate money and maybe just sharing a small pot or whatever it is, then it works for you. Then be happy. Don't try and force yourself into doing what daddy wants, because that's what works for me and mummy. Like if you and your man is happy doing it a different way, then do it a different way.
Sorry, go on.
Aviation rules in an emergency: put your own oxygen mask on first before you put on anybody else's.
I just think the only thing I think is a bit mad is when people say that they don't even tell their partner their salary. I just think that's mad.
Yeah, there's bad people that don't know.
Yeah, I just think that.
But don't you say you don't know how much your missus makes?
But that's not her not telling me.
Yeah, but it's the same difference.
No, but I know what she makes. I know I got a rough estimate. She don't know what she makes. Do you know what I mean? Because she doesn't have a set salary.
Okay, yeah.
So if I ever asked her how much money she would have to go
forget
away
asking
and calculate.
You don't count what going through her account, do you?
Why do I need to go for her account?
No. I actually know what's in my missus' bank account. I'll have access.
I don't need.
Okay, it's not about need to, but my point is,
if I asked her, she'll tell me.
Yes, no. I'm not worried. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying, all right, I know how much my missus gets paid. Now, yeah, she's got an annual wage, but even if she didn't, even if she was doing what your missus does, and money was coming in and it fluctuated from month to month, I would know.
But why?
Roundabouts, because she's my wife. I never understand.
Why would you not? Do you go and look?
No, don't ask her. When it comes,
but why?
Well, just earlier on, you said something about counting people's pockets. And that was another time. And then earlier today, you said, don't talk to some PDS about money. So there's two. And I said, what did I say? I think you were there for that one. I said, I love knowing what people got, man. I love knowing about the money.
Yeah,
the reason you lost that bet is because I do know what people have got.
Which bet?
The bet about, well, it wasn't thingy. It's because I like knowing what people, I like knowing, and not necessarily for negative reasons, and not necessarily for being nosy sake as well. There's situations where I assist people when it comes to finances. I will not be one to. Are we boring you, children?
Yes. No, I was trying to think of. So there's a show on Netflix called, is it Dirty John? And on the second season, they tell this
it's a murder story. Black women and their murder stories. Man.
I love them. They tell the story of a woman called Betty Broderick, who basically, long story short, sorry, this is going to be like a massive spoiler, killed her ex-husband and new wife, because when they got together, he made all the money and kept all the money. So then when they divorced, he took everything. So she had to go to court to be like, give me something because I now don't have anything. And I was with you when you was trying to like become like a famous lawyer. Exactly. But he like tormented her like emotionally. It was an amazing show. Anyway, long story short, she like snapped basically and one day broke into their house and she killed them. But that was the example of like her not having her own money and then being left with absolutely nothing.
Yeah, money is the root to much evil.
I don't know. I've never had to ask, apart from there's times when I had to ask my wife what she's got in her account.
Yeah, but it's not have to.
Yeah, but if I don't need,
it's not a need.
What reason do I need to know?
You don't. Well, usually because that's usually my argument. Because when people say I don't need to know this, my comeback is always you don't need to know anything. Or you don't need to do this. Okay. There's very few things you need to do. Okay. Everything comes down to what you want. And so for me, I would come back with that rebuttal. But in this case, you're in a relationship. So just like you said, maybe there is an aspect of I actually do kind of like need to know what. But
maybe I'm in a privileged position where I don't need to know.
That's the discussion I was having with your bedroom. Right. I said that the difference between because this is what I asked. I said with me, in my relationship, it's not that I'm old school. Yeah, so maybe old school values is man pays all the bills. And I said, in my case, that's not the case. I said, I don't mean to put, this is what I said to the man, I don't mean to pry into your pockets. But are you in a similar situation? He said, yes! He said, we're not
Yeah, I know his
He said
situation.
them situations it's not valid anymore. It's like we can't do what our parents did. Like he said, I'm happy to share this and that. But then I said,
But he can though.
Maybe-
Don't let him.
yes.
Don't let him tell you nothing that he can't. Because
Okay,
he can.
okay.
He can very easily. All right. He's choosing not to.
fair dues. But I realized that there are situations where, and the thing is, actually, I could pay all the bills. But for me, it's like if I paid all the bills, then we wouldn't go on 4 holidays a year.
And you wouldn't have money for trainers.
When's the last time I bought trainers, bruv? Don't throw that at me. I don't mind.
People have been saying that about you for a while, and I haven't seen him buy trainers for maybe a couple of years now.
I don't since
Unless he goes on holiday.
when we're on debt. Yeah, I only buy trainers on holiday.
Fair enough.
And then even then, the last like 2 holidays,
You see how something can be
Well, how
tagged,
about if she
see how something can be tagged
pays for the
against you and
holidays?
it just continues.
I don't mind because I'll buy trainers when I got the money. But when I'm doing X, Y, and Z, I wasn't buying them.
But if you was paying,
Mr. will say something.
No, I was just saying that if you were saying that that you and your missus wouldn't go on any holidays. How about if she pays for that?
that's what I was about to say as well. She got the money to pay.
She
for
the
it.
man. Should she be paying for holidays? Let her pay the
Why
mortgage
not?
instead. No, I just don't think because
Doesn't make any
no. End of the day, when it comes to finances, right, there are many things that my wife just deals with in the house.
There are times.
Like 90% of the things, my wife actually runs things. But my finances, I run it, and there's a reason I run it. I'll put it that way. So if I let her control all of that stuff, then I don't think we'd be going on 4 holidays a year. I'll put it that way.
Fair enough.
I let her deal with some of the big bills, and I deal with the debt, and I deal with I deal with I deal with the big stuff, and she deals with the monthly stuff.
See,
kind of thing. That's a different way of putting it.
I split you like this. You deal with the shop, I deal with the house.
That's cool. But then you have enough that once you deal with the house, you say, let me do with the holidays as well. Yeah. I wouldn't be able to do that and go on 4 holidays a year, pay for my wife and my daughter. I wouldn't be able to do that.
What don't go on 4 holidays a year then?
But why should I
Do you
sacrifice
always
it?
go on 4 holidays a year? Is that something you do every year?
We were doing it at a point.
You was every year you was going on
Fine,
4
fine,
holidays a
fine.
year.
No, but
You're just making it sound like you just go on 4 holidays a year.
All right, last year, I had booked 4 holidays before, or booked 3, booked 3. By March, 3 holidays were booked.
Okay, but is it something?
And I was
since you've been
planning
married,
to go Ghana, Nigeria. Okay, answer me questions, then, man. It's maybe not every single year, but I just told
but
you.
you make it sound like it's a standard thing that you're doing. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, well, all right. And do you want me to sit here and count? It's 3 or 4 holidays. Then
I'm not sitting here.
I happen to agree with Wahala on this one. You did make it sound as if you go on 4 holidays a year, every year, as a standard thing.
It would be around that. There's times. Let me say 4 countries. We'll go to 4 different countries.
In the one holiday.
As a whole family.
Yeah,
No,
you know how many places my daughter's been to already. So it's and this is a year and a half. We ain't been nowhere. So by the time she was free, she had been to 11 countries. So yeah, we're trying.
But in those 11 countries, anyway, you know what? Let me know.
Exactly, I don't.
Because you went on a cruise. You went on about 7 countries in one cruise.
No.
So she didn't go on the cruise with you.
Yeah. It wasn't 7, was it?
Oh, okay. I'm just saying.
You guys are so pedantic.
Exactly, man.
But he knows what I'm doing.
I do get what the both of you are
Do you know
talking
how
about,
often
but
I go on holiday?
it's
You
so
know
not
how often I go on holiday.
Yeah, and that's why I don't think you go 4 holidays a year. That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't think that you.
Okay.
I think you're perpetrating this 4 holidays a year, and I don't think you go on 4 holidays a year.
Last year I booked 3. I had to cancel all 3 of them, and then in December.
Stop telling me about something you booked and didn't go on.
Oh, let me finish. That is, I actually paid for it. I haven't even got the money back from one of them yet. None of us have our money back from one of them yet.
Did you go? In fact, I'm glad you remembered that because that money needs to be coming back for stuff.
Have any of you actually even asked for it?
They said I sent them an email saying, "Give me my money, blood.
I forgot about
Give
it.
me my money."
What?
And I saw him driving the other. I told you I saw him driving the other day to his number plate.
Afronation.
Afronations.
Yeah,
Give me
we
my
are all
money.
due money back from Afronation.
How much is it? I don't even know how
About
much I spent.
£300 or something like that.
See, there you go.
That's a decent amount.
You people are privileged. You don't even. You are not even asking. You forgot that you owed the person money.
But it was 2 years ago. That's why.
Yeah, it's like it was a long time.
Anyway, let's go into something else. But
Okay. So
Introduce y'all.
before we continue,
Fucking hell.
Stavros then does not go on 4 holidays every single year.
I'm just saying
that
because
is
people are
not
gonna
the
start
case.
robbing you on the street.
That is not the case. No, but that is not the case. Since I've been with my missus, we haven't been on 4 holidays.
You've
every
been to
single
4
year.
different countries in a year.
Sometimes that, and then sometimes not even that. Sometimes we won't even go on to 4 different countries. So sometimes we've only gone away twice.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of a time we've only been away once.
Okay.
I want that level of money management. That level of money management where you can even get 4 holidays in a year. I don't know how you do it.
You can do it as
It's
well.
time as well, bruv.
I'm gonna talk for you as well. I will.
I said,
You're talking for other people.
I'll talk for him.
Go on, simple.
I said money management. Like, I can't.
You
I
got
can't-
good money management.
Yeah, but my money's going in a different direction.
Potentially, but you have got good money management. I respect your money management more than most.
So it's a good direction. You're not fleecing your money, are you?
No, but it's like it's going home, innit? It's going.
Yeah, he does what all of us should be doing. He's respecting his people back home.
You know,
If you got it, you give it, innit?
Just-
If you haven't, what the fuck?
but
Yeah,
that's
that's
the
what I'm saying.
thing.
He has and he gives. He's saying he's going 4 holidays a year. None of them is to give.
You should have been giving.
Are you going back home to go and give out to the people there?
to who?
You see, he just acknowledge that his whole family, family's back home. There's family back home you can give.
That's why I asked you a question.
To who?
I'm not gonna just open my mouth to be talking.
Okay.
On the There's family back home to give.
Oh, no, okay. But
Ati.
you know, actually, all right. Let me.
You know what I'm saying? He wants names. Who?
I know you could easily tell me you won't be able to answer this question. In fact, let me start with Georgette. All right.
Well done.
If you lived back home,
other people in.
so we're,
You all can talk, you know.
because she hasn't been speaking very much.
Well,
Just there with a bottle in hand.
People
gonna think
we ain't done the introductions either.
This is true, but I've been told off. To be so formal.
Told off by who?
I run the thing,
This
man.
one, and I'm sure you've agreed.
No, I haven't.
He was addressing Georgette. Let behold a lady.
If you lived back home,
Yeah.
I know you don't. So maybe it's hard for you to put yourself in that position.
Okay.
Would you want people to be sending you? Let's say that you earned not a lot, so you're not in a comfortable position. You just about get by. Would you want your cousins, uncles, nieces, nephews that actually make more than you to be sending you money?
No.
Are you sure?
But yeah, but that's just because of how I am. Like it's not an expectation that I would have. So like I wouldn't think they should be sending me money back home because
Not should be, just want to. It would be nice if monthly there's something that was supplementing this tiny little wages I was getting to help me get by, to
Some of them
help
are not
me
making
with my
wages.
education. And maybe when I'm a big lawyer, whatever, hopefully I'll get to pay, auntie, uncle, cousin, whatever back.
nah.
Well,
I think it's very hard though to put yourself in.
Yeah,
I know that.
We're talking from privilege here.
I did put that disclaimer
I
there.
know, but at the same time, I know that you can speak hypothetically, but you really need to put yourself into a certain type of mindset and mind frame, and then on top of that, what kind of I don't know. There are some people back home that are doing very well, and some people back home kind of send money here to buy houses and to do all kinds of things. So what kind of family do you have back home? Do they need the money? So if you were born and bred back home and you're suffering, I am of the opinion that maybe Georgette's opinion would change.
What about your?
Perhaps.
What about you?
If I was suffering and someone was offering to alleviate that suffering,
Yeah.
Monthly.
then I would welcome it.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
You know what I mean?
So you're changing your opinion now, Georgette? Because you're agreeing with Mr. Wolf.
No, but it's like a completely different example, though, isn't it? Like I would then not have to think how I think now, so I would have to be like of a different mindset just because of the way that I am. It's not an expectation, sorry, that I would have. So I would have to completely change that and be like, okay, if I was completely suffering and the only way that I could get by month to month is because my uncle or auntie.
Yeah, but that's the one. I don't want it to be that bad because I don't think I know anybody in that position. I know people in a position where it would definitely help you supplement like living a life. I don't think any of our families living to the point where it's like we will, if money's not sent to us or given to us, we will not like make it. We're going to be on road. I just don't think it's
my family. There's one side of my family that they can live day to day. Do you understand? They're not homeless. And they can feed themselves. You get me? But a little pick me up from back home.
But I think a lot of people are like that here, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but here is different. You've got a government and state that are that help you get past certain things.
Yeah,
whereas
true.
back home that doesn't exist. So and there's certain people that are doing things for you. Like some people, like you might have a land that's there. And these people are looking after that land for you. So maybe you're paying them money to help them to look after the land that they're doing. Some people might have a grandparent there and all of these people are looking after that one grandparent, and you're not putting any money towards that. So you're supplementing what you would do to help that grandparent.
I want you two to answer this question as well. Simple Simon and Wahala.
Well, if I was back home, if I was back home and I needed money to educate myself, to get myself into a better place, and somebody was prepared to send it to me,
that's a nice one. Yeah, and it's my uncle school fees. Yeah,
and it's my uncle, like an uncle. I would take the money.
Cousin.
If they're older than me by a lot more, I'll take the money.
Okay. What's a lot more to you?
Like about 10 years older than me.
Okay.
10, 15 years older.
Remember you said that when I said about the elders. You said they are elders.
What do you mean?
The message I said earlier on about this party thing.
No, that's different though.
It's a big 50,
no, but they're old.
Difference,
they're old. 14 years? What?
Something like that, isn't it?
It's 10 years. 10 or 11, 12 years. But I'm talking about... but when you got to that age, that doesn't matter anymore. I'm talking about when we were young. So like, if I'm talking about school fees, I'm going to be 18, 19 now, innit? If I'm talking about like school, in fact, even be younger than that. So I'm not going to be there on my high horse saying, I'm not
talking about 18. I'm talking about people that are like, but okay.
But you're talking about school fees, isn't it? So
any 16, 17, 18-year-old that even wherever they are, in whatever situation they are, when it comes to finances to help them with education, then there's no issue I have with that.
So then what age are you referring to?
I'm talking about adults in my head. Before the education thing came up, I was actually talking about adults. I'm talking about adults.
Even an adult. If you're struggling and you're only getting enough money to get by, just to get by, but then yes, if somebody's saying to me, you know what, I can help you out, and maybe you think again they can offer you money and you feel like you can start business because that's what you really want to use the money for.
Okay.
Then yeah, I'll take the money, and then hopefully if I get myself in a position that I can pay them back, I'll pay them back.
Simple.
This is a large part of the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I truly feel like I would like for somebody to be able to do that for me if they could. So because I'm in the position where I reasonably can, that's why I do it, because I think the justification or the reasoning behind doing it is partly because I've put myself in the position to say, if I was in their shoes, in the condition that you're in, because we know that Nigeria as a place isn't as stable as somewhere like here, for example. And because of those cracks in the stability, just depending on where your family members are, where they live and all those kind of things, like the difference between their standard of living is so vast. So because of that, I know that it's tough there, and I know that if I was there in that situation, because let's face it, me being born over here is pot luck. Do you get what I'm saying to you? Them being born there is pot luck. So if I was born there, I know that there'd be a chance that it would be nice for me to have somebody who's in abroad, as they say, who's able to, even if it's not a thing that is like a constant thing that I come to rely on, but if I know that there's a chance that I could get a care package every now and then that would be out of the blue, not unexpected, and it will be significant for me on that side, I would like that to happen. So that's why I try to do it. So as far as the ages are concerned, so there's people that are going through school, I try to help out with the school fees if I can. Then there is my cousins who are like my age, who I've grown up with. They've had children now, and because of the whole pride thing and giving adult people money or what have you, I don't give them money, I give their children money, but I give their children more money than you should give a child, knowing full well that it will help out with the whole household. Do you get what I mean? So so from my point of view, yes, if I was in that situation, I would really like for somebody to be able to do that. And it's mad because even in the situation that I'm in now, which is a point of privilege, I still feel like to myself, if somebody could help me out every now and then, it would be nice. Do you get what I mean? Even in the position that I'm in now, and I'm not in the suffering that they're...
Is it?
Yeah. Sometimes I think to myself, it'd be nice to have like somebody, a family member who is the same order of magnitude richer than I am to them, who was like, is able to say, oh yeah, you know what? Here.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And this is a man that lives in a country where you get free healthcare, like medicine is affordable. Imagine now.
I didn't think if you like you said, one relatively wealthy uncle, and he's like, simple, hey, come. Man just puts you a check. There you go.
I would take it and I would be happy.
15K is like, I'm happy with your progress. I like what you're doing.
Would you not take it?
There you go.
That's what I'm thinking.
Me?
If one of your uncles was a billionaire or a millionaire, a millionaire, because that would be if we're talking about the magnitude of difference, we'll say millionaire, yeah.
Okay,
and he said,
okay,
and it's let's say it's your birthday, your birthday now, I know you're a big man.
Happy birthday, Stavros.
Have this for your birthday now, and he gives you like a 50 grand check. I say, I'll take it.
I don't know if we're gonna have to talk offline. But the situation I'm in now, because you should know, and you should know, because I've spoken to both of you like personally.
Yeah, but that's different.
No, why?
I'm saying this person is giving it to you as a gift. You're not asking for it. You don't need it. You don't. But this person has said, come on now, Stavros. See, I've seen that. What you have been moving. Yeah, I even have Ghana girl. Let me give you money to, deal with it. So you can go there and show them that Nigerians have money.
That's more of a reason for me to not take.
Answer the question.
Unfortunately, you weren't here last week, and so we spoke last week off mic, and even on the pod a little bit, but off mic we spoke a bit about a certain situation that I'm in, and involving money. And for me, it's the first time in my life where I've taken money from somebody that's from somebody as opposed to an establishment.
Is it, okay. Or is the first time you've asked for money?
Bro, what do you mean?
There's a difference because you're saying taking money. I'm pretty certain that somebody in your life has given you money before.
Yeah, that's different. As a gift.
As anything, yeah. But this is what we're talking about. We're not talking about. He's not talking about something where he needs money. We're talking about somebody that's just giving you money. Okay.
Yeah, because I'm not the type of person to ask. So it's not like I'm asking. And my cousins and stuff that are back home, they generally don't ask me, which makes it even easier for me as well because. So go on.
Sorry, no, sorry.
Yeah, it makes it even easier for me as well because when people are asking, it's difficult for me to know whether they're asking out of need or if they're asking because they just expect it. Mm. So the cousins that I look after don't ask me for nothing, and so therefore, anytime I remember, I will throw something.
So now they expect it.
Yeah, but that's what I was going to ask. If you never gave it, if you just didn't give for a whole year, do you think they'll mention it?
They won't mention it, no.
Okay, that's good.
They wouldn't have mentioned it.
So I think just to touch on that point, I think there's different levels of comfort. I'm at the base level of comfort, as far as I'm concerned. And when I say base level of comfort, I mean base level of comfort where I do not have to worry necessarily about where my next meal is coming from. Yeah, but I'm not comfort where if I do you
really think you're a base level of comfort?
What have I said multiple times? One of my biggest fear when we mentioned the other day I take advantage of my wife, losing my job is the only fear I have in my life. Well, not the only fear, but that's one of my biggest fears.
Why?
Because I'm not comfortable enough where I could lose my job, and I'm not in the position where maybe I'm highly educated or I've got some super skills in this job where it's like, oh fine, if you get rid of me, I'll go to another job. Like somebody was just talking about a minute ago, they're skilled in one thing. When they lose a job there, they get it somewhere else. It's like we need somebody to do this.
Got it.
You get me? I don't have those skills. I don't have that education. If I lose my job, which is a decent paid job for somebody who has the level of education I have, so whether you think I'm smart or dumb, whatever it is, I'm not highly educated on paper. I don't have any skills or documents to say Stavros can do X, Y, and Z.
You got college.
If you lost your job,
college dropout. Yeah,
if you lost your job, you could open an OnlyFans. You got breasts.
You have back off today as well, but
I even lacked it a little bit.
You had back off today, but that's what you were doing.
I got back off as well.
You know what?
Georgette, me and you, man.
You'll make money from that.
Back off. Just
trust me.
You'll make money from that.
Uncle fans.
Uncle fans.
I'm telling you, right in the market.
I'm saying that I'm not in the predicament where it's like nothing means nothing.
I'm not saying you're in the predicament.
I want you to answer the question.
So the one that I was asking everybody else, or the bit we were talking about, because there was a bit where I was talking and then we got sidetracked.
The one where the uncle says to you,
no, I'm not comfortable taking money off people like that. Because for me, if somebody gives me money as for birthday or whatever, because that's happening in forever, and the most it will ever be is £50. I don't think I've ever received money £50. So for me, God forgive me if this is a bad thing. But that's not life or death. But somebody talking about giving me 5 digits, and there you go. Then I'm not comfortable with that.
Let me. Okay, like this is your uncle who's an older man, and you know we're talking about a millionaire. Let's talk about maybe up to 100, close to 100.
100 million.
And well, like
be sensible with the money. This is the thing.
But why can't you be sensible? Why is it so far-fetched an idea?
Because I'm in
one of us get into that.
No, because I'm in a predicament where people that have a million, there and then can say, take this, and all I'm thinking of is I'm giving it back to you immediately. Okay. That is a predicament I'm in now. So when I'm saying that, I want, this is realism. So when we're going into 100 million, it's like going into
tens of millions. For me, it's not such
Let's say 10 million.
It's not such a far-fetched idea. We're talking about someone who is financially free, someone who doesn't think about where their next meal is going to be, someone who knows
5 figures for them is £10 for me.
It's what I'm saying. Like generational wealth is set.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And they could see that. Do you know what? If I give this to my nephew, this is going to give him a little pick me up, and it could assist him to get to where I am. That's his mindset.
Okay.
And he's saying, you know what? Hold that. And you're telling him no. You're mad, bro.
So if you had that money, if you had that money,
me,
yeah, and you went to one of your nephews and you told him, hold that, and he told you,
there's a big difference.
Nah, Stav, Uncle Stav, take that back. You're gonna look at him like, what are you doing?
Okay, but there's a big difference.
Insult.
There's a big difference between.
You'll be vexed.
I don't think that would happen because because the uncles that I have, I don't know of any of them that are in that predicament. Yeah. So the situation where I am in with my nephews is, it's just different because my nephews is people that I grew up with, that I was fully there week in and week out in their lives. My nephews and nieces, I was there all the time. Whereas with me, like my actual uncles and aunts, like my real ones, I wasn't even in the same country as them.
Don't worry about those ones, man. We're talking about the uncles that you know, man. The ones that you have been brought up with. The ones that have been there for every single part of your milestone, for everything in your life. Yeah. And they make money and they said, you know what, I've seen everything that you've done. Right? Some of them, you've even looked after their children in certain parts of their lives.
Yeah.
So, and they say, for what the things I've seen you done, you are a good somebody, you're a good man. Have some of that. And you're saying to them, telling them, and you're gonna insult the whole family.
I'll take it and I'll promise I'll pay you back.
Yeah, you're gonna hold the whole family.
Sit down there.
And Stav, the reason that even with him saying the 100 million or close to that, it's not unrealistic. I said orders of magnitude are roughly the same. So in Nigeria, the legal minimum wage is 30,000 naira a month. Yeah, every single person on this table now earns more than 1.5 million a month. Every single person on this table. So the orders of magnitude are exactly the same. So him saying 100 million is about right. So I'm saying that.
How do you know what I earn? Don't count my pockets, partner.
I'm not counting your pockets. I just went on an average and said, like, let's say 2K a month average. Yeah? Around the table. That's 1.5 million a month that you're earning, and they are getting 30,000 as minimum wage. So the orders of magnitude are there. So for me, if every couple of months I can put maybe 200 or 300 £300 in one of my cousin's pockets,
I'm my dad's son.
That's what I do. When I
think
can.
Your dad hasn't taken money from someone if there's an uncle that's rich enough to give him that money?
You should ask him.
I already know the answer.
There you go.
So then that's what I'm saying. You're not your dad's son at all.
But I bet if it was one of us though.
For me, it's
taking money from you guys.
Like, sorry.
For me, it's that we're not asking. I'm not asking.
Yeah,
it's not about asking things.
Exactly, I'm not asking.
But a man falling out of the cloud and said, "Listen, like these men have said, they've even prefaced it. He's seen you growing up. He likes how you operate. The fact that you don't even ask for it. Maybe if you put it in context, maybe people around you who are to his estimation of the same generation, same age, or what have you, had the same chance, had the same opportunity, are always asking him for stuff, and you never ask him for anything. And he's like, well, I'm always giving these lot because they ask. I never ever had a chance to shine on this guy. Let me shine on him one time. That's it.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong with it. And there's also you don't have to get into a position or into a mind frame that says that you're going to now start to expect it because you didn't expect it in the first place.
Yeah,
I'm me that don't want nothing from no one, and I'm still telling you that I'll be there. If I'll take yours.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
uncle, I'll take his.
A lot of us are in a position where potentially, in my opinion, we are in certain circles where some of us could go clear. Do you know what I mean? And if one of us goes clear and we want to help to bring up our brothers, and that could be writing a check.
Yeah, there's no way that I'll make millions and millions of pounds and I'm not trying to give money to my boys.
Saying?
Are you mad?
I don't know, man.
I'll give money to Simple, I'll give money to Mr. Wolf, and you won't take the money.
No, it's my brother. I'll have to pay it back.
But see, the thing is, because I know that he's like that, I wouldn't give him them. I'll give it to his daughter.
Yeah.
That's what I'll do. And then if you
I'll give him money.
Can I
I'll
give it to your wife?
And his daughter money. I won't give it to his wife.
and if you don't allow me to
So
give,
you want to insult me and give my wife money?
I just said I wouldn't give it to your wife.
if you wouldn't let me give it to your daughter at that point, then I don't know what to do at that point. That's arms.
Can I give the money to? Can I give the money to your wife, bro?
You shouldn't be giving money to my wife.
In fact, that was a question. I had a question on that. What was it?
You shouldn't be giving money.
I want to give it to you.
I had a question on that, man.
I want to give it to you.
If you want to give money to one of your boys and you feel that he won't accept it, or you've asked him and he won't accept it, you shouldn't overlap that and then give the money to the woman. That's a disrespect.
What would you do? Yeah.
What would you do?
Georgette, is that not disrespect? Sorry about that. Just because she's just there sitting there trying to look pretty. Talk.
Trying to look pretty so that you're not even accomplishing it. That's rude. That is rude.
I'm gonna ask you a question the same way.
Is it a disrespect?
Yes.
I don't know. I would take the money.
So somebody's offered one of your boys, and sorry, your husband's or your boyfriend's friends, not your friend, but you know him, you're cool with him now. Has offered your man money. He's come home and said, such and such has offered me something there, but I don't want it from him. And then he's come to you and said it. Now the person is independently well off, so you know he's not hurting your pockets. And for whatever reason, they're offering it to you. You would take the money.
Yeah.
And keep it in your own account.
That was the question.
You split up.
That's the question. Exactly. That was the question I was kind of going to ask. I was going to say, I'll ask you then. Anyway, I'll ask you, but then we can go around the table and answer this question.
You're not a good woman.
So your husband. Wow. Hold on.
That's not a good woman.
We'll see.
I'd divorce.
Hold on.
No. I couldn't be a woman.
So you're married, yeah? You're married, right?
Go on.
No. Don't make it married. So I want it to not be married so I can leave.
You're married, yeah?
Yeah.
You are married, so your situation is going to be legit anyway. So you're married.
My wife wouldn't do that.
Right,
I could call her now. She'll tell me no.
And then you know that your husband.
It's true.
Your husband has money problems, yeah?
Yeah.
And there is a rich uncle that will easily give your husband money to sort this out.
Yeah.
But your husband's too proud to ask. Maybe even his dad. Not even the rich uncle. Let's say his dad. His dad's rich. His dad will, and him and his dad have a good relationship. It's not a problem. Let me finish the discussion and let her answer the question, and then you can go around and answer.
Because you're making the man a pauper now.
I'm not saying there's a
So let him finish.
Let him finish. Going through financial problems.
But it's my own question.
Okay, but then that makes it so much different, man.
No, it's not. It doesn't make a difference at all.
Then the man's being irresponsible. He has a wife.
Can
and
I
he's
ask
not
her the
looking
question, Purse?
Purse?
I'm sorry, give me back. I'm talking about the money.
Dude.
All right, so he's in like a financial situation that he's in, and he needs money. He's not like broke. He's not saying that everything's gonna go bad. But let's say that he needs the money for something. Let's say that it's a business opportunity that he really wants to take, but he hasn't got the money for it. But he knows that his dad has, but he's too proud to ask his dad. So he's prepared to let that go. So he's prepared to let that opportunity go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Right. So you are in that situation. Sorry, it's you. You are in that situation, and you what was that?
The money is supposed to go to the partner. The partner says no, and then
no. Because I wanted to know. No, I wanted to know it the other way around. Because I was going to say the same thing for other. So you are in a position where you got a business. You got this, that, and the other. You have the money. I mean, you want to do this business thing.
Okay.
Your husband doesn't have the money. You don't have the money. But there's an opportunity that you can have, and your dad's rich enough to give you the money. Yeah. But you are too proud to ask your dad. Right. So your husband takes it upon himself to go to your dad and say,
I'd be
father-in-law.
I'd be livid.
Can you give us the money to help? And your dad says, no problem. Okay. Of course, it's my daughter, and he gives you the money. So how would you behave?
I'd be vexed.
So what's the difference between what we just?
No, okay, because that is based off.
She's not a good woman.
Carry on.
Why are you spoiling so much market?
Carry on.
You got it anyway.
That is based off of the fact that if it's a thing where I'm too proud to ask my dad off of like our relationship.
No, the relationship is fine. I have to say that you have a very good relationship.
Okay.
You just don't want to ask your dad for the money. You're just proud. I don't want to ask my dad.
That's her prerogative.
Yeah, then that's my choice then.
Yeah,
I don't want to ask him.
Yeah, you just don't want to ask.
So therefore, how can you then take it upon yourself to do what I don't want to do because of what?
Because the opportunity is there and you're being too proud. You're being proud. It's a stupid thing you're doing.
Then
in his brain.
Then I obviously don't want that opportunity enough. Because if I did, I would ask him. So I don't want it enough.
So you're gonna be furious.
Yeah.
Okay. What if he didn't?
Why are you remixing?
Because I want it to be the same equal thing. What if he didn't ask your dad? Your dad knew about it.
your dad.
And he just gave it to the man, and he took it basically.
So
he said, I know my daughter. I've heard of this situation she's in. I think she needs a bit of change.
Yeah,
I know she's not going to ask.
Georgette needs more
like,
money.
rolling her eyes, I know she's not going to ask. I know my daughter well enough. Take this.
yeah, because then it's different then, isn't it?
I'll say it's not a problem then.
No, because my choice and my like opinion hasn't been taken away from me and been like disregarded, and then
your agency hasn't been tossed to the side.
Yeah, so like if it's a thing where my dad was just like, all right, you know what, I'm aware and I'm just going to do it, then it's a completely different thing. Yeah,
That's why I said it the way I said it, because your dad's just doing it. You're not going to fight your dad. Well, you might, but most people are just going to say, okay, my dad's done it, nice too late. So but if your husband went and asked him,
after I've said,
and you've got a family, and this is going to benefit your family by doing this, by the way, yeah.
So now you're bringing kids into the
yeah, because she's already married. She has had this said now, right? She has had it. But he's used to. It's still like, you know what? I'm not asking this.
No,
man.
but I know how I am, because I'm just like, you can't take my agency or my choice.
Is it divorce?
Nah, man. But I'll just be like, bro, don't do that again.
You be vexed. Okay, what about you, Simple?
What's that if my missus...
So your wife went to go and ask your dad for the money because you was too proud to ask your dad for the money, and she came back with the money.
No, I don't know if I'd like that. I don't know if I'd like that, if I'm being honest with you.
So how would you deal with the situation though?
Because I think the same thing that Georgette said around about, if me not asking, it means that as far as a priority is concerned, didn't rank on my list. Because I don't have a problem asking my dad for something. But I'm going to be very selective about what I ask him for. So if I've chosen not to ask him about this thing, and then you've now gone and carried yourself to go and ask the same thing that I didn't, I'm not gonna be alright.
You even presented your daughter as some form of offering.
Yeah.
Look at the child that is denying.
Yeah, no.
The pappy.
I'll take issue with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Stav, you really told me you'd be vexed, so you would also be vexed, I'm assuming.
If we weren't married, then that's cause to leave my missus.
You leave her. Wow.
It's cause to. I don't know if I would.
So in long-term relationship, you potentially leave
because that is a flag for me. Very quickly when it comes to relationships, it's not necessarily about the individual act. It's about what that act means. It's about the type of person you are. And if you're the type of person that does that, then if you show me another thing like that, then that means that I can't be with you, because you're the type of person that is doing things that it's not going to make me happy in life. I want to be happy in life.
Wow. Okay, Mr. Wolf, what you did?
Yeah, I'm similar with stuff, to be honest, but it's a conversation. It's not the end of the relationship. It is a red flag, but I'm of the opinion that
you're on half penis for a week.
Half is still good. Just say it. A conversation, man. People split up too easily and too quickly. Do you know what I mean? And I think that some people can make mistakes. And then I think it's about looking at the heart of the individual.
I don't think that person made a mistake, by the way.
Is your heart in the right place? If it is, then let's have.
Forget your heart. Is your head in the right place?
Yeah, but some people make mistakes, innit?
They haven't made a mistake. Okay, what do you think's happened then?
I think they've done the right thing.
So you would be cool with that?
I'll be angry. I'll be furious, but they've done the right thing.
The right thing for who?
For us as a family.
Is it though?
It is. If I'm, because I said that the reason why I'm not asking is because of pride. Yeah. Right, I don't have a problem with my dad. I have no problems with relationship. The only reason I'm not asking is because of pride, and this can potentially make my family in a better situation. And my wife and for one, my wife is now, if she's married to me, that's her dad. So she's not asking my dad, she's asking her dad now, right? And she said, you know what, we need this money. I know sometimes that your pride is stopping you from getting somewhere, and I know that can be a case of me in my life. I know that my pride can stop me from getting places, right? Okay. And if she knows now that she's going to take it upon herself to make that decision to do that for the betterment of my family, then I have to deal with that. There's times when I do things that I know that my wife hates or doesn't like, but I think it's for the betterment of our family, and I'll do it. She's going to be angry with me. She has to deal with it. Same way that I'm going to be angry with her, I have to deal with it.
So then from my point of view then, this again is about the assessment of your individual pride. My pride isn't set up in such a way where it will get in the way of asking for something that I need.
But in this particular situation, that's what I'm giving you. That's the reason why you're saying it's a pride.
But in this particular situation, again, you can't take away the agency of how my pride works. So if you're saying to me, I haven't asked for pride reasons, that's fine. I can take that. I can accept that. But because of how my pride is set up, I know that the pride that has stopped me from asking.
Hashtag LGBT.
The pride that has stopped me from asking is also the same pride that is like the level of my desperation isn't enough to erase that pride. Because for me,
well, you're not in the end. It's not like your family's gonna be. You're not gonna You're gonna be comfortable, like Steph said. But this can take your family from being comfortable to being in your own position. So it takes you from being working for somebody else to now working for yourself and having a good outcome.
So again, my thing is, if I've recognized this opportunity myself, and I've recognized that it's the change that you've just mentioned is going to be there, and I've still chosen not to ask, then as far as I'm concerned, I have judged the situation good enough. So then that person now asking isn't about us, it's about them.
Yeah.
But do you think that you're right?
Do I think that I'm right?
Do you think you have made that right decision?
I can say that I can see how taking or asking the money would have changed our life dramatically. But do we actually? Is that a necessity right now? Is it a necessity?
Nothing is a necessity.
His pride might be more important than that situation you're talking about.
Is it going to run us to ruin? That's the thing.
I'm not saying it will run you to ruin, but why would? This is what I'm saying. Me that's got no child, I think this is mad that you people with children are the ones that's
I'm you're putting up a good argument, bruv. I can't lie.
I don't understand this. Me and my wife are a partnership, yeah? I can't just make all the decisions in that partnership all the time, right?
Yeah.
I can't just put my foot down on everything and decide because I'm that this is the decision that's going to be made.
Yeah.
So again, that man is not just my father now. He is our father.
Yeah.
Our art in heaven. Hello, be that name and all of that, if you want to put it there.
But then also, as a partnership, I would have expected my partner to even come to me and check me and be like, George, your pride.
Yeah, but they've had that discussion. And you
didn't say that before, though.
No, but you know that you're just gonna. How would they know that you need the money and you're not gonna ask your dad about the money?
Of your example.
Okay, I'm assuming that if the person knows that you haven't asked,
don't assume.
No, but yeah, the initial thing I said was that you are not taking the money because of the pride. You have spoken to the thing and you said to him, I'm not asking the money because of my pride, blah, blah, blah. And they know that it's because of your pride not asking the money. So you've obviously had that discussion, didn't it? So they know.
But, and they still did it.
Huh? And they did it, yes, because that's why they got said.
That's my problem.
You people are doing a nonsense.
All right, the reason I'm doing in the situation I'm in now is because I've swallowed my pride because of my wife. So if I chose not to swallow my pride, it's not her choice to then stick it down my throat and close my mouth. Don't do that to me.
The kind of reason why I've had this question is because of that situation.
Don't do that to me. So for me, it's like, you know what? Because it's important to you, that's it. Cool. And at the end of the day, it's a manner because it's going to go straight back as well.
Yeah, that's a different situation.
It's just the kind of like the circumstances.
Yeah, but that situation is different. This is something that could potentially, as I said, better your whole family's life. Even the person that's giving you the money, you can better his life, because if you now become somebody that's somebody in it,
you keep building up on this house of lies.
It's not house of lies, though. I'm just saying that the whole reason why you're asking for the money is because the opportunity is that. Like, I don't think that anyone's partner would just dash away that person's thoughts or their feelings for nothing. There's a reason why they're doing it, because that opportunity is such a big opportunity.
All I'm saying is that for me, as a person, that is highly offensive to me. And if I've made the decision on behalf of us, whether you like it or you don't like it, yeah, because it will be because I have to take into account, like you said, in my case, my wife and my child. I would have taken that into account and I still would have come to this conclusion. If you then take it on board to say, I'm going to ignore what you've done after speaking to me and I'm going to go as well. It's not even like well, it wouldn't matter who they're taking the money from. I'm going to go and get that money. Then for me, it's highly offensive to me and it gives me a thought and a pause to how am I going to continue this relationship with this person? Because clearly what I want is less important than money. Because that's what it comes down to. It's money.
I'm talking for myself. I know that I'll be annoyed with her. I'll have an argument with her, but I know later on in life I'll tell her thank you.
Money come and go, man.
It's got nothing. It's just not money. It's about opportunity. For me, it's about money, but it's also the opportunity for us to have a better life. For me,
what life in front of me? What life is better?
Because as I said, it'd be something like opportunity. The reason why I said it already is because I like to do your businesses or whatever. Yeah, so it doesn't just to not work for somebody is opportunity in life. That's a betterment in life.
He's talking about generational wealth as well. Yeah, do you understand? No, but he has mentioned the idea that we're the ones that have children, and it could assist the upbringing of your children and children to come.
Potentially, yeah, but
you understand what I'm saying?
I'm going off just the family just there.
Well, I don't know. I'm
definitely the hypothetical episode.
And
isn't
this is why I send money to the Nigeria and to Jamaica.
Because he might be doing it.
I'm split down the middle on this one.
I'm not saying that anyone here shouldn't have any offense because the person is not taking their things. Well, let me not say they haven't taken it, because they have taken into consideration. They've ignored it, right? But if they're ignoring something for the betterment of your family, then I can't fight them over it.
Like now, there's a situation going on, yeah, where one of my cousins is unfortunately out of work, yeah, and obviously he's got a missus and 2 children, and he's a prideful guy, and him being out of work at the moment now is tough. I know that it's bun in his head. The family know that it's bun in his head, and we can't go around him and give the money to his missus, because that would further magnify the burning of the head.
But there should be somebody that's old enough there to sit him down and tell him.
No, there's bare elders, but again, it's not about whether or not somebody can say it to him or not. Yeah, it's about the pride thing. So there is one uncle that seniors all of us, like who's the head of the family, who has been looking after him quietly.
You see? But he's been looked after, though,
He's been looking after him quietly. But even that situation is burning my cousin.
Of course it's going to burn. No one's asking you
it's
to
not
be
quiet, is it?
No one's asking you to be...
No, it's quiet in the sense where there's only a few people that know. And everybody that listens to this podcast.
all 12 of you.
It's not like a case of that, I'm not saying that everyone should be happy with the situation, but if push comes to shove and needs to happen, it needs to happen, innit? So
for me, what I'm saying to you is, for me, the way that I had to get round the caveat is I've been launching at his children. Do you get me? Oh yeah. This birthday went by and I didn't do anything. Please except this small one. He's got 2, which helps. So it's like, I forgot this birthday. That didn't happen. Except this small one. And the amounts are not the same. So it's not like he can say, oh, hang on a minute, what's going on here?
So, as a cousin, though, can't you just say to him, hold this, and when you're ready, give it back?
If you gave money to me and on behalf of my children, I would never go into my pockets.
For me, it doesn't. I don't govern where the money goes. I just know that I gave the household that.
Yeah, there's the thing. You're talking for you. Your wife might decide to dip
No.
But he don't know. His wife won't decide to dip there. Some people's wives. This is the thing about men and women. Yeah. There's a woman here. You could talk for us. Yeah. I'll talk for yourself as well.
Okay.
I think men are, when this type of stupid thing happen, men are stupid. They like to be doing stupidness. They like to be, oh my God. Women are not stupid. If they need money and there's money there and somebody's prepared to provide the money, or there's money in the bank account.
You're calling them prostitutes.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about there's money in a bank account that they can use to use the money correctly.
Yeah.
I'm going to use it. So I'm taking my daughter's money. If I don't take this money now, she can't eat tomorrow. So what am I going to do?
No, because my wife can't take my daughter's money.
Okay,
I can't take my daughter's money.
I'm talking about in general. When there's people that have accounts that will, because the money is he's not going to put in the account, is he? He's going to give you the money.
Then it's going to, where's it going to go?
Yeah, but he's giving it to the who do you give it to?
I give it to basically I tell them that I'm sending it for the children and it will go into one of their bank accounts.
Okay, so he's doing it to the bank account. But I'm assuming majority of people will give them the money to a hand, right? And if they take it, the wife will take it and then do what she feels like she needs to do. It's only men that have this stupidness, you know.
So, but I have to run it by him first. Like, he has to know that I'm giving the money and what the reasons for and all the rest of it because of this whole pride thing. Because I know that it would destroy him if it turned into something else. You get what I'm saying to you?
Yeah, but I don't like that approach either. For me, that would annoy me. If you're trying to give me money and you're doing it well, maybe it's better. I shouldn't say underhanded, but you're giving it to me like on the sly, and then you're bringing it. It would bother me more if you even brought my children into it. If you just try to give me the money, and I'd prefer take this. No, but especially if you have the bank account details, I'd much prefer take this and like I know there's situations and concerns in it. Just hold that. No further nothing. If you're in a position to bring it back whenever you're ready,
it's not disingenuous though. What I'm doing,
I didn't say disingenuous.
I'm giving the children. I am actually giving the children money, and I know how much I think is the right amount for the children, and I'm giving more than that amount. So I know that this money, if it was going to the children, it would be that amount of money, and the money that's on top, I don't care what they do with. I actually want them to do something that's going to help them with their household. But I know that there's a certain amount of money that I've given for the children.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. At Big Wahala on Insta, Big Wahala on Twitter. What's good, people?
That's always a forever.
A whole big hour into the show, you know.
Yeah.
I love it.
It'll be an hour in.
Yeah.
I want to get to some of them questions as well. That's in the group there still.
All right. So I am Stavros Boss. Get down. And you can catch me at Stavros Boss everywhere. Thank you very much. Apologies again for all the mistakes I've been making on podcasting, production, and distribution, not production. My production is tight as tight as stuff, tighter than tighter. It is tight, but my distribution has been a bit off point. I'll relay the story that I mentioned earlier on.
That's a different podcast.
Doesn't matter. We're what do they call him? Sister podcast, isn't it?
You got problems with the plug.
You say until we make money, and then we have to start
talk about it on the other
passing
podcast,
that money, innit?
Got problems with distro.
Okay, fine. I'll leave it for the other pod.
Queen of the South.
In my head now.
Do you watch Queen of the South?
I started watching it and then I fell off.
You gotta go back.
Yeah.
What do you call that?
Teresita.
My guy, you know.
Are we both ready?
Gaza.
Me.
Are we both? Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah. I'm holding up.
Do me last.
Okay then. So on my left, in fact, not here, not with us, but here in spirit, with his locks flowing in the wind in the tornado in East London.
Preto de Santos.
That was mad though.
Is DJ Whipsinger.
Spider sense tingling.
Big up yourself.
That was mad, but we'll speak about that in a bit.
Big up yourself, Web Schlanger.
The man with the golden touch. In the room with me, on my left, I have Uncle Wolf.
What's going on?
What?
Senator Wolf.
We don't do the remix
I don't mind that.
Senator Wolf. I don't. If you was in Parliament, you'd be something like a senator. Senator Wolf. Chairman Wolf.
I don't mind that. You were saying?
Like, what happened to the remix? We don't do the remix now.
Oh, I don't know.
The remix.
I can do a little skank to that. Still. What's going on? Applause already.
Because your uncle
To the entrance. Yeah?
that is my version of digital prostration.
Yes, I like that. I'll go Yoruba proverb as per usual.
I'll delete in the edit.
You're a joker. This one is quite straightforward. It sounds like this. Iṣẹ́ lóògùn ìṣẹ́. That translates to work is the antidote to poverty. How straightforward is that? Work is the antidote to poverty.
Not borrowing money, bitches.
That was quite, it was quite poignant. Obviously, these things are not they're open to interpretation. Do you know what I'm saying? But these are our proverbs.
Do you not have a wisdom translation?
Not today.
Okay,
not today. I got this one from a different place actually.
Okay.
Yeah, you can catch me on Instagram, aka Mr. Wolf, on Twitter, on aka _Mr. Wolf.
Plug it.
And I'll say now, rather than saying at the end, I'm in episode 3 of season 2 of The Punisher. I like it.
Oh, I thought you were saying you were in it. I thought you were actually in it. I told you like Punisher, man. I told you.
I like the violence.
Somebody said that we should do film things. By the way, somebody said on Twitter that we should
Or a podcast.
Films that you should watch before you die. They called it.
Okay.
I think I've actually got a list on my phone.
You probably do. No.
Punisher's bad boy still. I can't lie. It's very good. It's very
I've
good.
got a recommendation at the end of the show as well.
So
a girl like Madani.
All right. So on my right, I have our brethren. Well,
Do me last.
The guest goes last though.
Oh, okay. All right then. Full. Go on then. Quick.
Our brethren, Simple Simon.
Guys always say, hey, listen, no translation today because the subject that comes after this is going to be apt. But yeah, you have to hear this tune here.
Wait down and tell the people about the musical dish coming your way.
Calm down.
Go listen. Must get love I road love me all them life.
Big up Matt Hancock in the place.
Me know the one of them jealous and want on wife. Another one I wait for married for the family that's right.
Big up man like Boris Johnson in the place.
Original baby father.
The original baby father.
Sharper than light. Man a get it.
Okay.
Man a get it.
That is the whole Tory cabinet right now.
Gallus.
Gyalis. Yes. My brother, the timing is impeccable. At Simple Simon on Twitter. I don't have Instagrams.
Calm down.
Listen. It's time soon, you know.
It's time
for the next ESN bashment radio.
Yeah, for real.
It's time soon.
It's soon,
I was driving down the other day and I heard around bashment and it took my soul and I said, you know what? It's time soon.
Before that, this one needs to come on, man.
Yeah.
Need to come on ESN radio, bruv. Come on.
No, you also need to be on ESN radio at some point.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
You're ready.
The one that is called This One. The one that who is, what did I say? Call you? You're not good. You're not. What did I say?
Not a good woman.
You were
not a good woman.
Absolute rubbish, but okay. I'm a fantastic woman.
Stop tarnishing. Stop.
Do you think that you're a very good woman in a relationship?
Absolutely.
Okay, it's good to have that type of.
She said it with
that bass.
Let me Kevin Samuels you. What are you on 1 to 10?
What?
What are you on 1 to 10?
And don't say 7.
And don't say 7.
What do you bring to the table? There's a lot of women that's out here talking like they understand something they have to say. They ain't got nothing to bring to the table.
Banter.
You got kids? You make 100,000 a year? You got a big dick?
Is that what he said?
That's what you asked the man. That's what you asked the man. You got a big dick?
The man was at home. He said, so you're at home. You don't own more than this and that. What else? Basically, he had no strikes, and he was talking about what he wanted in a woman. And then he said, "You don't have this. You don't have this. You don't have this.
And then he said,
do you have a big dick?" And the man was saying, "Well, you ain't got a big one." He said, "If you had a big one, you would know you have a big one."
He goes, "I know." And he goes, "I know I got a big dick." That's what he told the man. I know I got a big dick.
And then he said, "You what?" So he said, "You can't. What do you bring to the table?" You can't even break dick. He said, you're saying that you want stuff from women? And he laughed at him.
Yeah, that was bad.
That was a painful laugh, man. That would burn a man. But the man had a cheek to open his mouth and say what he wanted from a woman, and he literally had none of the box standard things.
It's the same thing as what the women are saying now. Some of them.
Well, I don't disagree. When a woman is saying, I've got 25 children, I don't earn anything, but I want a man to do like everything for me, I have to look at them and be like, okay, you can want all you want, innit? But the difference is, if you have pretty privilege, you might get it.
Cooley Samuels, look at Cooley Samuels there.
Anyway, sorry, introduce yourself.
Yeah, before this man, introduce. Yes, our sister, our wonderful reoccurring guest, my bedroom.
Yay.
Kind of, when she picks up the phone.
Oh my God.
I just want to throw it there. Woe betide me, is Georgette.
Hi, it's Georgette.
we ain't seen Georgette for a long time.
It's
been
like over a year.
It's been over a year since we've seen Georgette.
Been a minute.
It's been ages.
It's nice to see you, Georgette.
Thanks.
How you been?
Good.
I see you're still running these septon rings in your nose.
Oh, wow.
Why are you people putting?
She's even got 2.
She got 2 now, isn't it?
Yeah, I am. Good to be here. Good to see everybody.
Yeah, I'm happy to be
glad
here.
everyone's well. You can catch me at just _Georgette on everything. I would plug the pod, but I don't know what I'm doing with it, so I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
Anyway, man, you got how many episodes? You got 2 years worth or whatever it is of
content.
Pods. Yeah.
But she says she doesn't know what she's going to do, so leave her in it. Yeah, maybe she's got things we don't know.
Well, apparently we should be pushing people in it to do stuff they don't want to do. That's what you should do if you care about somebody. Just push them and
but she's
do it anyway.
She might have stuff that we don't know about. So
who is she? The cat's mother.
Yes.
My mum used to say that.
I never got it.
I don't understand it either.
What do you? Because my mum said the same thing.
It's just after that don't want to be upset about everything in life, man. I don't understand it.
I'm like, mummy, should I say mummy before every sentence then?
Yeah, they hate being referred.
My mother said this. My mother said that. Anyway, it's good to see you. You look in good spirits. You look glowing and happy and all that type of stuff.
I am.
I'm glad to see you, man. It's nice to see you. Yeah.
The tritone hair suits you.
Thank you.
Is it tritone?
Yeah, you got black, blonde, and
There's
whatever
no
that
black.
thing on the top is. Of course, there's black.
Where?
There's like a bit of black
Can you
from where
turn
it's
your head to the side, please?
growing.
Oh, okay.
What's all that?
But it must have been a bit tedious to do it, innit? Because you have to make sure you have to try and get the certain points and make sure that the dye is different.
Hairdresser.
Listen, I'm a G.
I'll get the impression she
Honestly,
did it on purpose.
Yeah, I didn't.
Oh, it just happened?
Yeah. So,
You bleach one, and then when you bleach the next one, the stuff is still there. And
like I
that's growing
literally
out.
bleached it, put the colour on it, waited,
okay.
and then I washed it out, and I was like, there we go.
However
We have
it comes
it.
out, it comes out.
Have it.
And only people that cut their hair, that are happy to cut their hair off, can do stuff
Can
like
do
this.
that, yeah.
Okay, so let me do some hater vision. You still getting the free trims?
Not free, but reduced price.
Reduced
Okay.
price.
Yeah.
From the same individual.
No, it's a new barber.
Inflation hasn't really hit you too badly then, you know, because you've gone from free to a little bit more. Than...
Yeah, like it's not too bad, but like this is a new barber.
Okay.
And on the first,
I was happy when I heard anyways.
on the first one, he's just like, oh,
He was happy when you heard
it's
what?
fine. You can
That she's not getting a free trim anymore.
Wow.
I was
Pay
still
this
taking
much.
advantage of that barber.
Oh, so he
advantage.
Yes.
so he just said, okay, you can pay this much.
Yeah.
And then that was your price.
Yeah.
That's nice. How does that feel?
Yeah.
My mum has that same arrangement,
it.
bruv.
Do you get other things free? Like, you know,
Just leave it at that. Obviously, just let her answer that.
Not so much. No. Sometimes, like,
Okay.
All right.
And no, the reason why I asked that is because I know people like women,
Yes.
Yeah.
family members as well,
Yes.
and some friends
Yes.
that get freebies from guys.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
I'm saying, why are you taking the thing? The guy wants more. There's something else to it, and they're saying, nah, this is just my brethren, and he's sorting me out.
Yeah. I don't-
If I was in a position to sort out my friend,
yeah.
I'll do it in a different context.
Yeah. I don't know
I
if
know what you're gonna say because I'm kind of like in the same boat, but I think that the ladies will maybe have a different
Yeah, go on.
So like
side to it.
it's different. So like if it's any of my actual boys, like and they do, then I don't look at it that way. But if it's like, without sounding like a dick, like an admirer. So like I could,
Like the barber.
yeah,
so the free trim barber. Did
Yeah.
you?
She knew.
Did you accept that he was an admirer?
100%.
Okay.
She knew.
And you kind of positioned yourself in a way to set the boundaries and the borders and all the rest
Yeah.
of it. And you, for poorer description, took advantage of that situation.
But how did she take advantage? She told him that he's not getting.
I said, for the poorer description, you took advantage of that situation.
Because you know that the man is doing it because
she
he
set the boundaries.
Yes, but but there's a fancy there.
But she set the boundaries.
There's boundaries have been set,
Yes.
but he still is only doing it because he fancies.
But
it.
that's his own personal problem.
No, I'm not putting the blame on. I'm not putting the blame on her. But whether you like it or not, if you know that situation is that, you are taking,
I hear you,
you're taking
yeah.
advantage of the
Okay, so we're
Yeah,
saying this
fine,
now.
fine.
Yeah? So look, we're saying this now because when we're talking about when we're banging girls and we told them we're not on a relationship and they get upset later on and blah blah blah. We don't run around saying that we're taking advantage of them. We told them.
Of course, I'm not taking advantage of you. Are you not? Are you not an adult that has your own agency? Oh, whoa.
We told them that we told them. That's what I'm saying. We're saying that we told them. So what's the difference now? I want to cut your hair for free because I like you. I don't like you like that. If you want to continue cutting my hair for free, that's on you. But I don't like you like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to continue cutting your hair for free. I ain't taking advantage of you.
That's
I
a
told
service. That is a service you're receiving.
I told you when you're providing the big dick, you don't give the service.
That's a contra deal.
It's a service as far as I can say.
It's a mix.
It's a reoccurring service as
yes,
well.
it's a contra deal, bro.
You are doing something.
You're
We
It's
are
a
both- you're both
reoccurring
getting something
service.
from it.
Stop shouting for one. And we are doing something together.
You're both getting something. from it.
We wanna be
I want to be together.
Wait,
His
so what's
skill
the
level
question?
is growing up. Is growing.
It's true, you know, because
Like,
you
what's
keep
that question?
overlapping.
Yeah, there was.
Man talking to Georgette. Every time somebody's talking to Georgette, Wahala or Mr. Wolf interferes. And that's very bad.
Me?
So simple,
He's-
Simon.
he
Please
knows
continue your
the
conversation with Georgette. And don't allow these brutes to keep interrupting.
I would not let a man besmirch a woman in front of me.
Besmirch. I like
Well,
that.
me.
That's a good one.
God damn it.
I just want to throw
I
it
do
out
like
there.
that word. Go on.
All right, so I was going to ask you just
Yeah.
to come straight to the point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the term pretty privilege? And would you say that you have been beneficiary of such privilege? You have.
Yeah.
So let me ask you the other question,
Yeah.
which is the more important question.
You yourself have also been privileged to pretty privilege.
For shizzle.
Right, anyway,
For shizzle.
but I'm not going to keep going at it.
For shizzle.
Before I talk about others, I'm just saying you yourself have many years have got pretty privilege.
For shizzle. My
And-
nizzle.
So here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
So you understand and acknowledge that pretty privilege is a thing,
Man
Yeah.
whore.
and you have fortunately been able to fall into the category. But do you feel like you deserve to be in the category?
I'm pretty.
Straight up.
This is the thing.
No, there's no
Thi-
finesse. It's
This
just-
is why
that's what it
you
is.
should pick up your, because there's things I want to say. I want to open my mouth because I've listened to every single one of your episodes of your podcast.
Yeah.
Every single
I
one.
think except one maybe. And there's things you open up about on your podcast that I don't think you've ever mentioned on our podcast in your times of being here. So I don't want to open my mouth.
It's okay, just say.
And I don't.
Wait. Like in terms of things that I've received.
Yeah.
Wait.
Sorry, hang on.
You know what I mean?
I damn near choked.
I didn't even think you guys are bad.
Yeah, context to the conversation, like in terms of gifts.
Yes. If you want to talk about it, then that's your thing. I don't want to take away your agency and your.
Yeah, but I don't know what you're talking about, so you're actually gonna have to tell me.
But that's the new thing, isn't it?
I never heard that term before.
You've been in situations where it wasn't just like this hairdresser thing. Also, I mean, this barber business.
Yeah.
It was and it wasn't a.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was a much more explicit.
Oh, okay.
But again, that person knows the situation.
That's fine. That is more fine than for me.
The sugar daddy? No. Yeah.
Continue talking. Innit?
Yeah, I had a sugar daddy.
Yeah. Okay. That's what's your point?
I don't know which point.
Sugar daddy.
Wait, and I've never talked about this before.
Maybe I don't know.
A sugar daddy provides.
Yeah, but is that not pertinent to what you're talking about now? Like, this whole topic about receiving based on whatever.
No, my question about the pretty privilege thing was, it is totally possible to be beneficiary of pretty privilege and also not feel like you fit into that category.
A bit like the white people.
Yes.
Wow. Would you be asking this if it was a male guest we had?
White privilege.
What about pretty privilege?
And all this stuff. Or is it just because it's a woman that's sitting beside you? Do men disgust me?
I would have to have identified the man as being pretty before I can ask him about pretty privilege.
I think that the dude that's hosting this as well is a decent looking dude as well.
Who's that?
I don't know who he is. I've never seen him before. I think it was the match before.
Are you talking about Ashley Williams?
No, I've never seen him. He was. I think, did he have locks or something?
That's Ashley Williams.
Looking at him, man.
I think on the topic, I think any woman that feels like they don't deserve it almost, right?
Yeah.
I do think that part of that is possibly because they're like in denial of the fact that that is what it is. And I think sometimes some women don't kind of want to accept the fact that because of how I'm acting towards this person that I know likes me, I'm benefiting from it, even though I know that they're not going to get anything. Whereas some people like myself,
that's the way it should be, by the way.
I'll accept that. I know for a fact that this is because I might answer the phone to you or I might text you or blah, blah, blah. And because I know that you like me, I'm going to play off on that, rightly or wrongly.
And if you choose...
And I'm so disappointed, man.
No, and
I don't like that, man. It's I wouldn't want that from my sister. I wouldn't want that. I can't use as
yeah, but I don't hide
no.
the lack of interest. I will fully say I'm very upfront. I will say I'm not feeling you that way, or it's not that for me. Whatever you choose to do after I've told you that's actually not on me.
If you're foolish enough to try and buy somebody's love, then you're a fool. Because you yourself
don't call that person a fool, because
you yourself are trying to, well, I see it as a kind of insult that I'm telling you I don't like you, and you're thinking that the more money you give me, the more I'm gonna like you, right?
It's an insult to me.
Yeah, in a way. So, but it's also, again, I'm not necessarily on the side of you either. I also think that the person should, take into consideration that this person is obviously a stupid. Stop taking his money. But if they want us to give it, again, if you've made that very clear about the situation of what it is and what it's not,
I'll take anybody's money if they're giving it away.
Yeah, if you've made it very clear in that situation and that person decides that they want to feel like they can, change your mind and that's it, then that's their own issue.
For you.
I want to try and
I've got a family
parlay
member.
to this. Go on, say it.
No, just one of my family members, they get loads of food all the time from a particular Nigerian restaurant. There's a few out there, so it's not going to be, an obvious one. And I'm like, where are you getting all this food from? Yeah, I've got a friend in there that always gives me a big piece of fish.
Listen, as a fat person, I get fat privilege.
But there you go. Let me give you a bigger portion. And you will take it.
What's your fat privilege?
Whenever I go somewhere, they will, there's a particular places where I go to where I know that I can go in there with you and the portion I'm going to get is going to be much bigger than yours. No shadow of that. No wrong thing about that. I know that portion they're going to give me.
You'll get a bigger piece of meat.
Is respectful for my size.
Yeah.
They're going to say, look, this is that guy in it. Give him something. Rather than trying to give me what
you'll
they give
get
others.
3 or 4 pieces of meat and he'll get 2.
When I used to have my long, when I used to go to see when I used to have like a little beard or whatever I had, and I looked a bit Muslim still, right? Even now I still look at it.
You had that Islamic privilege.
I had the Islamic privilege, bruv. I'll go to the man, the Islam man, and he'll give me more. brother, you think I'm one of them? But because I greet them with respect. Same with that.
Yeah.
I know I'm getting 8 plantain instead of 6.
It's like, how are you? Mashallah, things are doing well.
I'm getting because this is my brother. He talks to me with respect, so he's gonna give me more than he gives that person.
I hear that.
Do you know what I mean? So it happens in life, and you yourself can never, ever talk
about what?
Because you are pretty privileged to the T. But it's your whole life has gone through with pretty privilege. You don't know ugly privilege.
But the thing is,
you don't know it. You don't know the struggle. So don't talk like somebody.
No, I'm saying
you two on that couch deserve to be on that couch together.
Him as well.
You should jump on there as well.
I'm alright.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like my pretty privilege has been
F your couch.
more with women than any other situation that I can think of.
Maybe you haven't noticed it.
Maybe.
Just like the white man with the white privilege.
Maybe.
Yes. And we need to discuss that white privilege because
Yeah.
that topic is in there. But
Maybe.
you have not noticed it, but I notice it all the time because I'm the ugly friend. So I notice it.
I think it might work out for work as well, maybe.
You sit there. Sit there.
Just,
But that's just tonality, just because I'm lighter, I think.
it's not just because it's,
as well.
So you have light skin privilege.
Oh my God.
And pretty privilege.
Oh God. I don't even think I'm light skinned, but you lot keep telling me.
Are they,
One day.
are they darker blacks in your office?
Are there darker blacks? Yeah.
How they get treated?
I don't know. We got a couple colours and that.
I don't know how they get treated. You see how much you don't even care? I don't know how those darkies get treated. I just know how I get treated. And it's better than them.
Don't understand this.
But then I'm also me at the same time.
So?
So there's another dynamic to add to it.
No. A lot of it is your skin tone and your face.
Okay.
I'd like to see how you were if you were ugly.
Before you continue, hashtag ESN Pod on the social medias to start or join in the conversation.
All day long.
At ESN Podcast on the social medias.
Plug it.
This is episode 310 of the Eloquently Saying Nothing podcast.
310.
After an hour and a half, thank you very much for joining us. We are still here. I reckon the episode's going to run a bit long because there are topics we're going to get to. But just keep in mind, if people have topics, especially you that says you have to leave soon, say them. Don't say we didn't get to do it and blame it on me.
No, I'll just bounce.
310. Is there is it John Stone Cold Steve Austin? Is he 310 or was it
316?
Oh, 316.
Come on.
You must know. Everyone knows Austin 316 just kicked your ass.
Bad man.
Anyway, right. So we're going on to this privilege chat. Let's talk about this thing that happened this week about white privilege.
Don't misgender her. Bad man. Hey, it's Pride Month, man.
So
Get your pronouns right.
I didn't misgender.
Do you have a big dick?
Yes.
But do you have a big dick?
It's proportionate to my size. It's proportionate to my size. Yeah. I love that. It does the job that
If I'm going to find it, man, it's just like a play it.
like, what's it called? What's the domestos does the job? Whatever it is.
Love the jobs you hate.
Yes, basically.
What's the man's name again?
No, it does what it says on the tin.
Whatever one is, whatever says.
Domestos.
Kevin
No,
Samuels.
it's not Domestos.
Krept and Conan have an England song.
Yes, they do. All right.
wow.
But anyway, let's
Go
get
on,
into the topic
go
we'll
on.
talk about, which is about white privilege. And somebody has said, I don't know who actually said it, because I didn't take the proper tweet, I just took a screenshot, and said, terms such as white privilege may have contributed towards a systematic neglect of white working class pupils who need support, MPs have said. So I thought this was a good discussion to have because it was going through the time and I saw a lot of people having discussions about it. And I do know a lot of people that are working class that do not register to this thought about white privilege. For them, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't exist in their world. That's why they're going to say, we're broke, you're broke, we're all broke. How can I have privilege over you? And I thought it was a good conversation. And I actually had a conversation with somebody in my office about this, actually, right? So he's from a working class family. He's white. He's a Cockney guy, right? And me and him was having a discussion about race one time. He was telling me about his granddad. His granddad's racist, blah, 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 blah. But he said his granddad's racist, but there was one black girl that he loved for some strange reason. He didn't know why. One young black girl that he always used to look after. I think she used to come to the house with like one of his sister's friends or whatever. And it was a whole big story about that. But in the end, we was talking about race, right? And he said that he himself did not think white privilege was a thing.
Yeah.
He didn't agree. Didn't think it was a thing.
Until
I think one time he has played football with some groups of guys, and the police just came and just randomly stopped them. And he was like, "Why did you stop us for?" And all the black boys obviously knew the situation.
Yeah.
And he was just like, he goes, "That's the first time I knew that I had the white privilege. That this would never happen to me if I was just on my own.
Yeah.
It would never happen to me when I'm with my group of friends."
Yeah.
And he goes, we were bad. We used to do bad things all the time.
Yeah.
Police never came to stop us. Never even thought about it. One time I'm eating oranges or whatever with these group of guys after football, they've come to stop me. And he goes, that's when it clocked in my head that as much as I'm as broke as them, as much as I don't make money as them, as much as I might not even
How long ago
earn
was
money.
this?
Is what that conversation?
No, the incident.
I don't know. It wasn't. I don't think it was that long ago even.
Okay. Wow.
But in his head, that's when it clicked.
So he's gone through the whole adulthood up until just recently.
Basically, and now he gets it. He gets what that white privilege is. But there's a lot of people that, and I was reading these tweets and stuff from people saying, yeah, I agree. You know, there's no such thing as white privilege, and it's causing problems. You're throwing these terms at us, and it's causing problems. So what do you think?
Well, this is where I think education actually helps, and situations like that help. A lot of black folks will tell white folks that learn it on your own. I'm not going to
explain it
or not going to go out my way to say this, that, and the third. And I understand where they're coming from, and I kind of get their mindset and their mind frame. But education does help when you do have time to sit and explain this to a friend, a family member. That family member and friend is going to explain it to somebody else that is white or what have you. And I think that there's an argument for both sides, man. Yeah.
What do you mean by argument for both sides?
Well, whereas we shouldn't have to take time out to educate you, and I think I understand why some people say that, but I can see the benefits of it.
Okay, so what do you think?
My issue with the headline is that, like, white people right now want to be oppressed so bad.
Exactly.
They want to be oppressed and say, because of you, we now feel like this. But I'm just like, white privilege is still a thing. You now think that there's this, like, neglect towards white people because we are telling you how privileged you are. That doesn't even make any sense. Like, it's just a fact. And I think, unfortunately, like, a lot of people tend to, like, group, like, white privilege with, I don't know, like being able to get, like, a certain type of job or to earn like a certain type of like money, and don't think about how people just look at you as a white person as opposed to how they will look at, like, a black person. And so it's things like that, which is why that guy only clocked it, because he was like, oh rah, we wasn't even doing anything and the police came and they stopped us. I didn't clock why, but because they think and look at things from such, like,
from a white perspective.
Yeah.
Basically, they look at you from a white perspective, which is their normality.
And it's like, I could say, okay, well, look at, like, what happens with the football, for instance. England win, everyone goes fucking mad, and that's okay. Like, you can have thousands of drunk white people out on the street moving mad, and that's okay. Us football, it's fine. But if it was, like, I don't know, carnival or something, it's not going to happen. If it was like, I don't know, a black team and black people were out on the street acting the same way,
hooligans are savages on the
Just see
streets.
now, like, the Scottish boys left the place.
We get treated so differently. So as much as it might make you uncomfortable as a white person, and now you might think that, oh my God, everyone's against us and we're oppressed. You're not oppressed. We're just telling you what it is. And it's literally just that.
Okay. What do you think?
I think it's massively divisive. I think it's massively political. And to some extent, I would even bullshit their findings. The reason why I'm saying that is because what you will know is they're saying now that, what was the headline? That the white privilege is having an effect on...
It's a systematic. Systemic. May have contributed towards a systemic neglect of white working class pupils who need support.
Where was this?
This was on LBC. They wrote this.
So here's the problem, right? And again, it's very, very tricky. It's only when you stop and look at the detail of it that you realize how fucking tricky it is. Yeah, the white privilege label may have caused systemic problems for white people. Yeah, it's their fucking system. So we don't control the system. People that are using the term white privilege don't control the system. We don't have a controlling stake in the system. We do not make any of the decisions that could marginalize any of the groups.
Okay.
So if you're now putting this headline out to say that, you know, this white privilege label is messing it up, you're the ones that's messing it up if it's being messed up, because we don't have any control. We don't have no agency over that. As a black person, me using white privilege as a term to identify you or to identify benefits that you have by nature of the color of your skin doesn't have any impact on your your upward mobility within society. It is just an observational. So you putting this headline out there now, making out like the problem is having this title of white privilege is bullshit, because the title of white privilege on its own doesn't do anything. You still need a level of control and influence over the system that governs all of this. We don't have that control and influence. So what the fuck, man?
And also to add, again, this is very cleverly written, because they've talked about it in terms of pupils, so in terms of children, to make us feel bad, like kids are being neglected, in the class,
which is the complete opposite.
And even if that is the case, in air quotes, then what you need to do is you need to have a conversation with your teachers as to why they now feel that they all of a sudden have to give more of a chance to black kids.
I don't think
that's what it is.
No, I think the case is a lot of the white children, and this is just me speaking, right, are not interested in school because of their privilege. This is a joke thing, and let me explain to you why. Like, I wrote a tweet earlier this week, and I fully agree with it. Yeah, that
I would hope so.
Yeah, I fully agree with it. That a lot of us, in fact, us sitting here now, need to be behaving like some of these white people have been behaving for years, and start trying to find ways of getting black kids into jobs. Like
nepotism.
Yes, okay. Right, because that's what's been happening for many years. A lot of these white boys have gone to school, done fuck all, pissed about, come out with no GCSEs, and managed to find themselves in decent jobs.
But do they have a big D?
I don't know. But they managed to find themselves in a decent job because somebody's been able to put them in that position because of their privilege, right? And it's usually, again, one uncle, one friend of my dad's friend or my dad's business. Somebody's put them in a position where they've allowed themselves to get to a point where they, are allowed to get into these decently paid jobs without having the education that a lot of ethnic children would never even fathom of having. And we need to start making that reality for somebody. I'm not saying that we should allow youths to just go around doing madness in school and rewarding them for it, but we need to start taking into consideration that we're now in the position to potentially put some of these young black boys or young black girls into positions of in these companies because we're there.
I do try where possible, but my thing is, my nepotism isn't just based off of I know you and I want to give you a chance. My nepotism will come in where I know you, or I don't know you, but I can see that you actually have the potential to be able to do it. But you just haven't had the opportunity.
But that's the problem, though, right?
Yeah.
As much as I agree with you, they're not having. That's not even a prerequisite for them, man.
Yeah, but
they're getting into these jobs and they're keeping these jobs for a long time.
It's but partly because of the privilege allows that. So
as blacks, we're saying we don't want another black to come and shame us there. Yeah, that's what you're thinking in your brain.
No, that's not what I'm thinking in my brain. What I'm thinking is there is an opportunity. I have some control or some influence on who gets that opportunity, and I want to best utilize the opportunity for the person. So I don't want to. For me, if I bring you in and you flop, there is a little bit of a reputational hit for me.
Yeah.
But I also feel like my reputation is good enough that reputational flop someone can look at and go, well, that's one in how many years? Yeah. So I'm not so much worried about them making me look bad. What I'm more worried about is putting somebody in that position and wasting the opportunity. That's what I'm more concerned with. The wasting of the opportunity for me is a bigger problem because I know that
the man are not thinking in the way that you're thinking, and they get people into jobs,
but the thing is, they're allowed to think like that. Again, because of the same privilege you're talking about, they're allowed to think like that. For me, I don't have the same. I don't feel like I have the same leniency. I don't have the same margin of error. So for me, every opportunity that I want to push forward to somebody, like you said, to help them out, is one that I'm not just going to give you the opportunity because you've managed to come at the right time to interview if I don't really feel like you can fulfill the role.
I'm not talking about just random blacks, by the way. I'm talking about your people there.
Again, even if it's my people, them, I need to have a certain level of confidence that you can do the job. I'm not going to push you into a position that you can't do.
Okay.
Because it's a waste. Why would I do that?
You won't hook your boy up if you don't think he could do the job. He could do the job.
My thing is this, yeah. If I know, like, you might not have the skills at all for the job, yeah. But because I know you and I know that you're a person where if you're put in a situation and you need to know stuff and you need to learn this stuff, you will go and learn it. if it's somebody like that, I'm more likely to give you the position. If I know that you're the type of person that you're going to come in, you're going to blag it, and you're not actually going to do any of the groundwork to learn any of the stuff, you're just going to try blag for the rest of your life or blag for the rest of the term of the thing, I'm not giving you that opportunity.
But
that's a waste as far as I'm concerned.
Again, a lot of people are in particular jobs that have been blagging their way through it for years. So, Steph, you're
100% right.
What are you saying, Steph?
I'll shift it very slightly. Have you heard of this critical race theory issue that's going on in America?
No.
It's basically the same thing, but this is going on in the actual political realm. So they have this thing called critical race theory, and it's a way of understanding how American racism has shaped public policy and has.
Is this the other part of the question that the other guy put in?
I don't know. I haven't read the thing. Sorry. So if I'm wrong, then or whatever. Basically, it's talking about how America is shaped by race and how racism has actually made it better for white people, and that's something they're trying to teach in school. But the politicians are saying this is basically exactly the same thing. Yeah. This is wrong. It's very divisive, and we need to get it out of our schools. so they
want to remove racism from schools.
Bang on it. They're saying that it's not real. And it's divisive. It's not real. It's divisive, and it needs to go.
They said it's not real.
They're saying they're calling it fake news.
We are in a post-race society. We had a black president. You can't talk about this critical race theory like being black in this country now is a detriment to you as a human being. If you work hard and try hard, you can do anything. This is America.
What were the findings again? Sorry,
about critical race theory.
Yeah,
it's a theory. But it's not even a stamped down thing. These are theories that came about, I think, maybe 20 years ago that somebody came up with in some university somewhere, and then it's kind of spread a little bit. But people just don't like the idea. And the idea is that based on the way this country has been built, it's institutional racism, because it's not just, slaves built the country and Humpty do that. There's institutional racism. There's a... Not just you're going to get stopped on the street because you're black. It's not just that. It's that, well, somebody could say, well, the stats are you are going to get stopped in this area more than in that area. Nothing to do with colour. I say, okay, so why are we in this area? Then they're going to talk about redlining, which is when black people couldn't get mortgages in certain places, they push you over there. Then they talk about white flight.
This is all recent shit.
So this is okay. So exactly. So there's a reason. Yes, okay, fair enough. The people in this part of the community will get stopped more than the people in that part of the community. The crime in this part of the community is going to be more than that part of the community. But why? Where did this all come from? It didn't just come because blacks are bastards. There's a reason that all this has happened. You disenfranchise these people. You strip them of all these rights. Mm-hmm. When they did try and build things up at Black Wall Street, you burnt it down and took it away from them. Yeah. You've every opportunity these people have had or have tried to push themselves in a certain position, you've taken away from them. And now that they are here, yes, things are happening just by chance, but it's not just by chance. There's a design to this, and we want to talk about it in our politics, in our schools. So why do people if you work hard in school, you get A's in it? Well, why is it in this school people are doing poorly, and in this school, well, it just so happens. It didn't just so happen. There are many, many factors involved. Let's look at all of it. Let's take a holistic view of it, not just it's this place and that place. So that's what critical race theory is, and they're saying we don't want to discuss it.
So you think the UK is now moving in that same vein, basically, by saying
we don't
want. So they are trying to ban its use in the place. In fact, there's an American general, somebody that in the army, and he was in the House of Representatives, and he spoke about it quite eloquently. In fact, let me try to find a video because it's about a 2-minute video, but he goes in on somebody that has said, one of these politicians saying they need to get rid of this, and basically one of the politicians said, I heard he wants to say something. I'm giving up my time. I'm going to let him talk. And he goes in on this man, and the man is grimacing on the other side. But he's a general, and he's like you can't talk to a general, innit? What can you do? So let me try and find that video.
I think the problem with this situation is that a lot of white people do not want to face themselves.
Exactly.
Or they face their privileges. They want to avoid it because it allows them to alleviate their past. Yeah. Like I was having a discussion. I remember last week we were talking about the football, and I was saying how people didn't understand how some people could still hate England. I'm like, because you don't face your past. You like to face everything about Germany. You like to face everything about this, that, and the other. We should never forget about this, that. We should never forget about this, and the other. But you never want to actually face your past.
About what you've done.
Yeah. Same with the Americans as well. They're very yes. We should talk about Thanksgiving and this, that, but they don't want to face their past. They don't want to face it head on.
Thanksgiving means.
And they want to skirt around it and make it into a good thing.
It's a defense mechanism, though. It's like if you hear of anybody who's had or experienced deep trauma, a lot of the ways that they have not overcome that trauma but avoided the impact of it, or at least being able to mask it, has been by a coping mechanism of a combination of denial and forgetting in a lot of cases. So if you really, I mean, for me as a person from the outside looking in, I can't be 100% objective because a lot of the stuff that white people have to unpack, they've done it to my people.
Yeah.
But even if you just take the examples that we know of, the things that we've read about, the idea of public lynching, the idea of it being a family event that happened on a certain day where the children and the family would dress up to go and watch somebody get lynched,
and hung,
lynched and hung, and on all of these things,
killed, burnt.
What's the difference between hanging and lynching?
But
does come under banner.
But you've made it a family affair, and this is considered to be entertainment. You then have the other people who are plantation overseers or what have you, who are torturing people in the most crazy ways. The slave masters or owners who's sleeping willy-nilly with people, and just the whole violation of other human life. If you have to go through and unpack that, it's a lot.
But did they say the same thing to...
It's a lot, blood.
I know we shouldn't dash it out there, but are they not saying the same things to the Jewish people? Are they not saying that as Jewish people, you don't need to worry about that. You're equal. There's no need to be even thinking about anything to do with the Holocaust. There's no reason to think about anything of Jewish oppression.
Quick answer, no.
And stuff like that. So then, why would you say that if
because you're blacks?
No, but I'm saying it doesn't make any sense. You can't decide that one atrocity no longer matters or one oppression no longer matters.
You can say one is more recent than the other.
Yeah, you could.
No, it's not.
Because they remixed it. Innit?
It's not totally.
They remixed it as a prison system. So no, it's not recent. It's continuing. But still to this day.
I think the major thing is, again, it comes about the same thing I said about the white privilege comment and who has the power in the situation. With the Jewish community, the Holocaust thing, the reason why they don't have that same conversation is because out of all of that, there is a certain amount of influence and power within the Jewish community that affects a broad number of
I'm not disputing
countries and economies.
I understand the reason, but I'm saying you can't. It's dumb for you to say stuff like that openly and think that no one's going to come back with that type of discussion. So you got something to play.
Yeah.
I just want to add my last point on this LBC thing, because the more that I look at it, the more it actually pisses me off.
Just look and talk on the mic at the same time.
Okay, because basically the issue is, right, that they are basically being like, why working class kids are being neglected and they need support. That's because that there's not enough funding in state schools
in the first place.
In the first place.
Yeah.
So trying to be like, oh, it's because of the term white privilege. No, it's because your schools are underfunded. These kids need support and your teachers can't give them that. Like,
and to be honest, again, because of the fact of how black people have had to be set up with this, we have to work harder than white people, blah, 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 and Asian people the same way, right? So we've been set up that way. So the education is coming from, being pushed from the home. A lot of these white kids, they're telling me that my dad didn't tell me to fucking learn any fucking kind of school.
I remember,
They don't care.
Like I used to work in social services, and I was working with this kid who was I'm like a refugee, and he didn't understand or couldn't grasp the fact that in this country there's a government that gives you money, right? Okay. And so he came here thinking, I need to work my ass off, right? Then he met white kids here that were just like, my parents just get XYZ from the government, and his whole mindset changed. He was just like, why am I going to work hard when the white kids here are telling me the government will pay for your rent and they'll do XYZ? Because a lot
of people they love to put that on immigrants, you know.
Yeah,
white people are the biggest finesses in this country in the world.
Listen.
Yeah, they've been finessing for a long time.
But
the fact that like the government had to put a cap on how much you can get from benefits, because they were seeing how white people were benefiting from it, how they were, what their homes were looking like. And I'm not trying to say that people on benefits can't have like a nice home, but they were like, you earn just as much as someone on a full working wage.
Finessing.
And not just white people benefit from, by the way.
We're not. We're saying, but they're saying, but they don't put it on white people. Whenever you see those things about people finessing,
it's always foreigners.
Yeah, one foreign, one Asian, one Somali, one
don't get me started.
Blah, blah, blah. They always like to dash it on any type of the latest immigrant in town. The latest immigrant to come along. That's who's taking all the
Stamford Hill has a lot of benefit. Beneficiaries going on over there. A lot.
Let me finesse you. All right, let me play this video here.
First of all, on the issue of critical race theory, etc., I'll obviously have to get much smarter on whatever the theory is. But I do think it's important, actually.
Oh, it's a white man.
For those of us in uniform to be open-minded and be widely read. And the United States Military Academy is a university. And it is important that we train and we understand. And I want to understand white rage, and I'm white, and I want to understand it. So what is it that caused thousands of people to assault this building and try to overturn the Constitution of the United States of America? What
white
caused
folks?
that? I want to find that out. I want to maintain an open mind here, and I do want to analyze it. It's important that we understand that because our soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Guardians, they come from the American people. So it is important that the leaders, now and in the future, do understand it. I've read Mao Zedong. I've read Karl Marx. I've read Lenin. That doesn't make me a communist. So what is wrong with understanding, having some situational understanding about the country for which we are here to defend? And I personally find it offensive that we are accusing the United States military, our general officers, our commissioned, non-commissioned officers, of being, quote, woke or something else because we're studying some theories that are out there. That was started at Harvard Law School years ago, and it proposed that there were laws in the United States, antebellum laws prior to the Civil War, that led to a power differential with African Americans that were 3/4 of a human being when this country was formed. And then we had a Civil War and Emancipation Proclamation to change it. And we brought it up to the Civil Rights Act in 1964. It took another 100 years to change that. So look I do want to know. And I respect your service, and you and I are both Green Berets. But I want to know. And it matters to our military and the discipline and cohesion of this military. And I thank you for the opportunity to make a comment on that.
Thank you, General.
He told him, I want to know.
Did you see the man's face?
Yeah.
He wasn't vexed. How dare you challenge? And if you put in critical race theory on social media and look at all the right-wing media cussing him and anybody that wants to study this thing, they're on it. They said they should strip the military of money if they have this kind of
because
force.
It doesn't benefit them.
It's one of those things. Yeah, like you said, it doesn't benefit them. But yes, and this is, I think, the other side of the problem that we may not be taking into account here is that it's not. And I think this might also be why the Jewish thing goes the way it goes. The Jewish thing is very, I won't say easy, but it's very straightforward. It was this set of people that had this regime and they executed on that regime. This is what the result of that was. We know who those people are. We can extract the punishment on those people. If we do this with white people, it's not just black people. This is what people forget. It's not just black people. The Chinese have a stake. The Japanese have a stake. The Indian people have a stake. Pakistani, Bangladesh, yes, all of Africa, most of some of South America. Like if they open
Caribbean, everywhere,
exactly, and that's the bigger issue because you automatically, and I can't even believe I'm saying this, but when I'm just sitting here listening and thinking about the whole thing in its entirety. If they open that box, they will definitely lose power.
Of course, and that's the point. But the issue that I have with certain things, like it's all little bits and bobs. So obviously, we're talking about white privilege and talking about schools and whatnot. You see how certain things are set up. Like, have you ever noticed that pirates are looked at as heroes? In strange things, like you see, like
unless they're Somali.
But I'm talking about like the normal. I'm not talking about real
like Blackbird.
Yeah, and all these pirates that, even though they're meant to be villains, they're not really villains. They're like anti-heroes, aren't they? So they go around, they steal people's jewels and all that type of stuff, and we have drinks, and they're all right. They're not too bad. They're not really murderers and killers, even though that's what they actually are.
Yeah, but some of them were sent by governments to do things. It was kind of like fluid what pirates did. Sometimes they were kind of like work for the good and bad kind of thing.
I get what you're saying. But I'm saying that if you look at it in the grand scheme of things, people just look at them like a bit
folklore anti-heroes.
A bit like Boris Johnson. Yeah. A bit like the lads that went around. But the reason why that's a big thing, because when you want to talk about history and you want to talk about places like Britain that has gone around and stealing everything, they don't want it to be seen as a bad thing. It seems like it was just something that was done at the time. Which is all of these. That's why we don't have the history about why the crown jewels have got what's in the crown jewels, where they come from. They don't talk to you about that in school. They won't tell you about Blackbird. They won't tell you about one pirate. They won't tell you about the actual British people that went around stealing spices, stealing gold, stealing all these jewels that are in the place that's now that they call the British Museum and all that. They don't tell you about all of that, because if they told you about all of that, people might now start saying, okay, so it's just cool to do that. Is that all right? Is that something that we just do then? Is that all right? Like, I'll tell you right now, if somebody came to the Britain and Britain had, or another country had something from Britain, I'll tell you there'll be people who are saying that we need to give that back straight away. But British people don't even know. They don't even acknowledge the fact that they've got all of these stolen stuff here. They don't know. They're very ignorant, British people.
I think you've made it quite clear that, well, it's simple as Simon that said it. Once you open that kind of worms, once you open Pandora's box, it's peak for you. So it's not in our interest to do that. So as far as we're concerned,
everyone ignorant.
As far as we're concerned, let's keep the status quo, because doing it any other way is just, and even then, I don't even have a problem with it if I'm looking at it like objectively. It makes sense to me. If I was in that, if I was in that bracket,
we were them,
it's just like it's not worth the while. I like to do it. Like, end of the day, what am I doing? I'm apologizing. I'm giving you all the wealth that I've bought up, I've stolen, and that's everything. It's like, really, am I going to put myself? So imagine you've come from a family, a actual family, who's stolen money. So you're Georgette, by the way, because we're running out of time, I'm going to bring up one point before we move on, and I want you to bring up the last question. So you have to think of whatever it might be, because I want you to talk more. I want you to have.
I'm going to ask you something now in a minute. That's going to be quite pertinent.
Maybe, but then
go on. Keep going.
Your family is rich now because you stole from whatever you stole from. Now you've got to the point where 100 years down the line, it was your great grandfather that did it. You are reaping the benefits, yes, surely, but you directly didn't do it. All right. Is it in your interest for somebody to come to you and say, this is what you've done? Now you have a choice. I'm going to ask all of you, just make it nice and quick, because we're running out of time. You can give this back to this community, this family, whatever it is you did, and you will now lose 95% of everything you have. You will start off, you will not be brassic broke, but you're going to start off like just the average Joe Blocks. Yeah, you're the Joe Blocks. And you've given that money to everybody else, and because it was your family of 50 people who had all this stuff, you're not giving it just to 50 people though, you're giving it to 500,000. So it's actually not going to make that much difference to all of their lives. It's like financially. I'm only talking about finances here. Obviously, it's a bigger discussion we can have, but I'm just talking about. So the money you give away is not going to make a massive difference to everybody else, but it's going to make the biggest difference to you. You are now going to have bare minimum, and everybody else you're giving it to is just basically you're going to give them a nice couple of months' wages.
Okay, I'll answer the question. Money.
What would you do?
Because of money, no, because it doesn't make no sense.
You would keep the money?
Yeah, because it's money.
Okay. Mr. Wolf, would you keep the money or give it away?
Same. I wouldn't.
You would keep the money?
I think there are a lot of white folks who know what the right thing is to do, but they just wouldn't do it.
No, you.
And I'm in the same boat.
You would keep the money.
It is the right thing to give the money back, but nah.
Georgette?
I don't think money's a problem.
I think I'd give it back.
You would give the money back?
I like peace of mind.
You want to die with your conscience clear?
Yeah. As
you're taking money from these sugar daddies. Okay. Simple Simon, would you keep the money?
I would give back a percentage and be like, damn, my great grandparents, those bastards, have some of this.
You'd give it back a percentage?
Huh? I'll give back a percentage. It wouldn't be the 95% you're mad. It would, I don't know. It wouldn't, I would give back a percentage.
We'll build a plaque acknowledging these white privilege.
That's basically what you're saying.
Maybe, but I think I would be very more focused about what it is that I actually did. So as far as not giving back like 95% of the money is concerned, I wouldn't do that. But the percentage that I would take to give back, I would actually do something that is very visible that has very clear benefits and that the people can actually utilize, rather than.
So you're dictating the thing. You've stolen from somebody, and let me dictate how I give it back to you. Like, I took money from you, but I'm going to give you a school. It's exactly what kind of things.
But anyway,
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So I would say, yeah, maybe a school, for example. I would kind of like build a school and maybe run the school.
You've changed all these things. Would you give the money?
Exactly, because I've stripped you of money. The reason you are broke and I am rich is because I took all your money. I'm not going to give you the money back, but here's a school.
So you give a percentage of money back.
I will give them a percentage of the money back.
So you give them a token.
Fair enough.
You can call it a token if you want.
It's a token because you're still rich. You're still rich.
It is a token. It's an acknowledgement, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
You've acknowledged it, but what have you done? You are still reaping the benefits.
Listen, Umar Johnson hasn't built the school yet, and I'm saying I'm going to build the school. So there you go.
But I beg your pardon. Sorry, Georgette, quick question on this. Yes, just because we're talking about privilege and we're speaking about privilege all this time. Do you think male privilege exists first and foremost? Male privilege. Do you think that exists?
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
We do, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Do you think that males, even in your circle or just in general, have the same cognizance as
big words?
I try to bring it
the lack of cognizance,
whichever you want, right? To know that there is such a thing as male privilege. Do you think that men know that male privilege exists, or do you think that we're like white people?
I think men. No, I'll give you a perfect example. Right, when the PlayStation 5 came out, my brother got one. He didn't buy it. A girl bought it for him, and that for me, is like a male privilege.
You think that's male privilege? That's what you're classified as male privilege?
I said that's an example.
I wouldn't think that's even male privilege at all. I wouldn't think that's anything slightly.
He didn't get it because he's a man.
Yeah, but
did he?
But because the chick is into him.
Yeah, well, that's not a privilege.
Yeah, I don't know. I would say more nuanced. A male privilege is. I often get up at 2:00 in the morning and go for a walk. Feel no way about it. Don't think twice about anything. That would be a male privilege.
Male privilege is being all right to go to the pub with a bunch of 7 male colleagues and that assisting you getting up the ladder without having to worry about they're going to trouble me because I'm a woman. I don't even have to think about that if I go out there.
Okay, fine then. In that sense, I think men are becoming more aware of that type of male privilege. Okay. But unfortunately, I think that's only because of the things that have happened to women, and men are like opening their eyes to it more.
I think men her age, definitely.
I see it at work all the time.
People my age, I think, and above, they're not enough.
Yeah, because I think when that was going around, when people talk about male privilege, I saw a lot of men behaving like the white people. Like, what are you talking about? I don't get any privilege for being a man. And a lot of them were black, you know. I was like, oh.
Most people that have privilege don't understand it. Pretty people do not understand their privilege. Men don't understand their male privilege.
I think pretty people,
or even like in the workplace, like there's certain ways that men can act that women don't always have that opportunity to, or like they can, for example, they can put an email like a certain way because like they're a man, whereas like a woman wouldn't be able to because they could be like
seen as in a different light.
Yeah.
Basically. So I always think it's interesting that men don't see it. Like men don't acknowledge the fact that we got privilege with certain things. Yes, there's things that because I think the thing with men is that we always throw back. Women get a lot of stuff just because they're women, and that does happen. But to say that there's no such thing as male privilege always entertains me, like it doesn't exist.
There are advantages for being a certain gender in the society because the society is very much divided along gender lines. In the same way that there is advantage to being a certain race because societies are cut along race lines. So anytime you have a system of hierarchy and one that works based on some form of merit, you will always have advantages and disadvantages to whatever position, and we come to call those in some circumstances privileges and not privileges. Do you get what I mean? So
yeah, I get what you're saying.
It's always going to happen.
I even agree. Like even to the point where I said that the reason why there's anything called female privilege in the first place is because men are allowed that or assigned it to them. So like things like we give women stuff and blah blah blah. That's a construct that men have put into place that we should give women things. That's something that we created.
I don't know if we created it.
I think we did.
I feel like
when you told them don't go to work because we're gonna pay for everything, what do you think we created?
Yeah, but I again, when I say created, I think if you go back down to the core and go back down to really, really simple times, it comes down to gender roles. Stubbs is always talking about gender roles.
Yeah, but those gender roles was assigned by who?
No, they weren't. That's the thing.
I think they were still assigned.
Wait, that's what I'm saying. If you wind back to simpler times,
I'm thinking even those simpler times.
That when you wind back to simpler times, that what you're talking about, where we're giving women things and we think that we should be giving women things or what have you, is an extension on the protection module.
Yeah, again, I still think that was something that we assigned.
No, I think.
No, I don't think it's that.
If you get very, very binary with it, very, very granular with it, the protection model is not something that we've assigned. It is something that is innate. It's innate.
No, but it's in nature, you say that, but there's plenty of things in nature where the woman is the protector.
It's not what in terms of just a man and woman. Forget child, man and woman.
No, I didn't say forget child. I just said there's plenty of times where women need to protect her.
Well, a woman can protect a child. Everyone can protect a child, but that's why I'm taking it out of the equation. When it comes to man and woman, there's not plenty of examples. When humans, there are a couple of societies in the world.
I'm not talking about humans. I'm talking about animals. He's talking about nature, so
we're talking about animals, but we're animals anyway. We are human animals. But go on. Yeah,
I'm just saying that there are very, 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 very few examples in the world where women are the protectors over men.
Oh yeah, because men have put that into place.
No, I'm talking about.
I don't think so.
All right, you think so? You think okay?
I don't think so.
Innately.
Okay.
If somebody comes into a house where there's a man and woman and somebody's breaking in, innately everybody knows who's meant to dominate that situation.
But why is that? Why is that the case?
Because what does innate mean?
All right, so let's say that the person is highly skilled, right? The woman is highly skilled, do whatever.
The extremes as usual. We're not talking about
in general. Though.
Okay, go on.
That is not in general. That is a specific situation.
She's highly skilled. Go on.
And the other man is not. Do you think that it's going to be innate for that man to jump up before his wife?
Yeah, because she's pregnant.
So?
Something he can never be. So he's going to do that innately.
What if he had the COVID?
He's going to do it innately.
Then he could breathe in a man's face.
He did say that there were a few examples, that there are going to be some examples where.
I just think that I think it's
generally
assigned.
I'm saying.
I'm thinking it's assigned by body weight as well.
I'm saying I don't think
nature.
I don't think we are assigning it as men. I think some of these things are just raw and innate.
I just think they woke up. I'm big, you small. I fight, you don't. That's what I think it's done. Again, I think it was an assignment, but I might be wrong.
Georgette, not to toss you in the pit. Do you have something you want to bring to the table before we finish?
As in
something that you would like to talk about. That you've been talking to your friends about.
We didn't touch on the race trauma one.
Which one is that now?
The racial trauma that universities are allowing. Somebody asked us to talk about.
Oh yeah.
Okay, we have to talk about that if it's a topic. Did you send a topic?
Yeah, I sent it to her.
Okay, go on, bro. Bring it. Go on.
So, go on.
Yeah, basically a university has allowed self-certification under race trauma for people to extend their essays and their assignments. So when it's self-certification, it's just like if you're at work and if you're sick for
7 days.
Is it 7 now? Okay, so if you're sick for 7 consecutive days or less than 7 consecutive days, you self-cert, which means you don't have to go to the doctor. You don't have to have any medical proof.
This is in the UK, by the way.
Yeah, in the UK, any medical proof or evidence that you were actually indeed off sick. It is kind of like a goodwill measure from your employee and yourself. And then after that, you have to get a certificate. So they're saying that in university now, they want to... or in university has done it. I don't even know which one it is because I can't see from the excerpt that we had. But a university has allowed race trauma to be used as reasoning for applying for an extension on essays and what have you. And this is for blacks and people of color. I don't know why we make that distinction, but anyway, for blacks and people of color within university. How do you?
Because we're the special people of color.
Yeah. How do you people around this table feel about this distinction and whether or not this is something you think has any value?
I would slap my child if they took that 7 days.
You'd slap them.
Slap them.
Okay, interesting.
Why?
Because they deserve to be slapped. What kind of nonsense is that?
Why?
I don't agree with the notion.
Okay.
Because everyone deals with some sort of trauma. And I don't think that a racial... Because it depends if you're saying, oh, the police abused me this week. I got stopped for being black. and I got roughed up, or even I didn't even have to get roughed up. I just got abused that night. I'm vexed. I'm not in the right frame of mind to do my assessment. I want 7 days. I could almost accept that one. But this is not that. This is not what I'm taking it as. I'm taking it as just this residual thing. I'm living while black. Not I'm stopped while black. I'm living while black. Or I'm living while I'm a person of color. My life is harder than the white person. So I'm taking 7 days. I'm taking an extra 7 days because I need it. And I don't like that idea, and I don't like the road that, I don't like the path that sets the precedent. It's just...
Yeah, but then aren't you then kind of like normalizing the trauma?
No. Well, all right, and yes. I'm not including the police example. I'm talking about the living. Yes, I'm normalizing it because yes, that's normal. That is the world you live in. You don't get 7 days extension in life. If you want to try and change the system, you can try. You know me, I'm the defeatist. I'll say the system is not going to change at least not overnight. So we as a people maybe can push it forward a little digit for every generation, and then the next generation does it another digit. Cool, but doing that for me is a defeatist attitude. It's wrong, and it's taking advantage of your blackness in a way that for me demeans people that actually went through real trauma. Man was just talking about people that were getting lynched, wolf whistling at somebody and getting strung up and pulled at the back of car. No, it can't be. I'm living while I'm black, so I'm taking more time than my white counterpart. I don't co-sign
because it doesn't impact them.
Well, it's not a fair playing field, now, is it?
Well, fair.
Wait, what?
I kind of get what he's saying, because once you open that can of worms, then you're looking to open up a lot. We've spoke about women. Women get treated differently to men. So I'm a woman. I'm living as a woman. I want an extra 7 days. So there's going to be other types of people that are going to want that same privilege. And why should they not have it?
And so, I'm a black gay woman. I want 21 days extension, please. Yeah, 7 for each of them.
This is London University as well.
It's a London one. Right.
A leading London university has bowed to pressure from its student union to incorporate racial trauma as a reason to defer exams for people of color. I think there's actually
it's going to be
there's a video on it.
A university.
There's a video.
Okay.
I'll send it to you. Maybe you can play it. I don't know.
I don't know. I think I'll side with Stavros on this one, man, because it's just going to open up a whole can of worms. There's a lot of people that have gone through trauma. There's a lot of people that are dealing with things. And they can't change what they are. We can't change the fact that we are black. If you're a woman, you've gone through things by default. So, there's women that have their menstrual cycle. You get me? And there are times when they can't do things because of pain or whatever. Do you, because of that, take an extra time off?
Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on.
It's a question.
Sorry. So, as a woman having a painful period, should I be allowed to take extra time off? Like, is that what you're asking? I just want to be clear.
I'm asking, should that be the case, and have you done it before?
Yes and yes.
I would go. Sorry. Speak.
I would agree with you. Georgette better.
I'll give you an example. There's
I'm not saying.
No. So there's a creative agency up in Leeds, which is run by like a woman, and I think that was the first company to put it into policy that if women have an awful period, they are allowed to take time off. And I'm not saying that this is aimed at you, but just in case there are people that don't think that should be a thing. As a woman, when you're on your period, the lining of your uterus is literally leaving your body. It's not a joke. And I think for me, it's a very personal thing for me, because I used to be in hospital every single month because it was that bad. So I had to take time off because I physically could not move, couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, couldn't do nothing. All I wanted to do is possibly cry and shit, because that's all that my body could physically handle.
I think you'll be surprised about how many men will actually agree with you.
No, let
you.
Yeah, let her finish.
Yeah. So I, just in terms of that example, I definitely think that women should be allowed to have the time to be able to just allow their body to do what it's going to do naturally, without having to think, I've got to force myself to work when I'm in so much pain right now and I can't focus and I can't do anything.
I think I think the problem with this whole situation isn't the allowance of or the opportunity to have extra time. I think it's when you try to make a blanket reasoning for it that it becomes a problem. I think in a lot of cases this would be discretionary, and I think this extension is discretionary based on an individual case by case basis. I don't think you should have a whole racial trauma blanket that people can just dash out willy nilly.
I'm gonna use this card when I'm ready.
Actual race card.
Yeah, I didn't
got one now, bitches.
I didn't study enough, or this dissertation isn't good enough. All right, let me throw this card and get a little bit of an extra extension. It sounds mad me saying this, but I think it should be discretionary. And I think, just as Georgette says, if you have a particular situation that means that there's a genuine reason why you would need the extension, then I think you should be able to put that case forward, and the discerning party should be able to side with you most of the time.
I agree on both sides. You understand? But, especially with reference to women and their periods, I actually think that it should be
normal. That should be normal.
It should be normal.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? It should be part of employment policy.
Agreed.
You get what I'm saying?
They still need to come around to giving them free period pads and stuff like that. That's still something.
I don't think it necessarily needs to be free, but it needs to not be taxed. It needs to not be taxed as a luxury good.
To high heaven.
Yeah, but that's not like a thing anymore.
Tissue is free.
Is it not still taxed?
It stopped being taxed maybe like last January.
Okay, my bad.
If you can get tissue in the toilet to wipe your ass, then you should get a pad.
Thank you.
But I definitely think...
Sorry.
Go on.
Thank you. There's two things that have happened in this podcast, which is why I love having this conversation, by the way. Outside of it being a podcast and the greatest podcast in the world, there's a stuff that I just learned. And that is the most succinct way that it's been put, that because it's not a conversation I've had a lot, to be honest with you, so it's not something I've dwelled on a lot.
I bet your woman said the same thing to me, but he's only hearing it because you're a man.
The way you just put it just now, I agree with you now, and I've changed my opinion. It just makes perfect sense.
That's good.
Thank you very much.
That's it.
Sorry, Georgette, for ignoring you and listening to the man.
I can't remember what I was going to say. Oh my God.
They were talking about period
so long ago. Yes, so I think that it should be free because there are people who...
I agree now.
Let her finish.
Who can't afford them. Like, there's a thing called period poverty where kids in school cannot afford the luxury of owning pads.
School's different. I'm not talking about school. It's school.
But like in terms of they can't afford it in the home, or if it's if it's a thing where the female child doesn't have the mum around, and either like they're not able to ask the dad or blah blah blah, that product isn't there because it's not free.
And you have to sometimes, if you're broke, you're gonna have to make a decision to buy the period pad or buy food.
Tissue is there,
and they're fucking expensive.
You just say tissue is there.
People that have to do that, innit?
Well, some people don't have tissue.
Wow, we're really talking about the people that need to be supported in a whole different way. I think, Georgia, I don't know what percentage of men you think will understand this thing about women needing time off for periods potentially, but I think the same situation where the men understand that would be the same situation where the dude, the football work colleague of Wahala, is that. I know I've been with a woman who didn't understand women's period pains because she herself had never had women's period pains. Mm-hmm. So when she talked about people complaining, she was like one of these men, like what's going on? And I had to look at her like, no, you get it. She's like, no, I said because it hasn't happened to you. Yeah. I've been with enough women that I've had to feel that pain by osmosis.
Oh, you felt it?
If you let me finish because you always interrupt. Because that is what you do. That is what you do. Let me take half the sentence and run with that. This is my rugby ball. I thought, no, what about the rest of it? I don't need the rest of it. I'm going with this.
I've got what I wanted.
Yeah, exactly. I've been with women that I've had to run out and get this, do the hot water bottle. No, we can't talk tonight. Stay out of the room. We're not sleeping in the same bed. All right, you know what? Let me go out with because I've experienced that on that side of it, I understand there's a real pain to it, and that this is painful. I don't experience it, but I understand it because I was the dude that got pulled over by the police, even though I knew they were never going to do anything to me. It's like, oh, I got it. So there are people that they've never been, even they're the black guy that went to Oxford, lived in a place, never experienced racism, and it's like, now they're a Tory politician, is like, I don't believe there's racism. I don't believe in critical race theory. Whatever. Those are those people. Those are those people. They're the same as the woman who hasn't had a period pain.
They're liars, though.
Period pain. Okay. All right. Those ones are lies.
I think they were lies.
Fair dues. But I'm just saying that a lot of the men that understand it, that's why they understand it.
And these were the memoirs of whorehead.
I just think that a lot of work people as well. Just that's not one thing I've ever seen in work where people have been apprehensive whenever a woman's talked about their period thing. Like men are quite happy to say,
fine, go
that's
ahead.
And maybe in the time of old times. Maybe when
this man is using vocabulary tonight. He said the time of year.
It might have been old times. That it might have been thinking, but I think now recently, I think that people are more happy and they understand it a bit
Which
more.
is good.
Okay, all right. We split it off. So Georgette and Wahala haven't answered the question.
Which question?
The thing about taking 7 days off because you're a person of color. And whatever the trauma.
I need to know the context behind it. But
I've got the 2-minute video if you want me to play it.
Play it then. Let's see what they say.
Yeah, for me, it has to be on an individual basis. Blanking it is a bit mad.
But maybe
Goldsmith University has bowed to pressure from its student union to incorporate racial trauma as a reason to defer essays and exams for black students and ethnic minority students, and this will be done through self-certification. So we're showing you a tweet there from the Goldsmiths student union president, and she says the university has agreed to our proposal to incorporate racial trauma as a reason to defer essays and exams, which means you would be allowed to do it later or have an extended deadline for black and people of colour students, which doesn't make great grammatical sense. But, as she says, it will be done through self-certification, which basically means you won't have to provide evidence of what this racial trauma what this racial trauma means. And we did reach out to Goldsmith University this morning. And Professor Francis Corner, who is the warden of Goldsmith University, said this change relates to our extenuating circumstances policy, which enables students to ask us to take into account serious life events when assessing their progress with their studies. Categories include medical conditions, trauma, bereavement, court attendance and caring responsibilities, and racial trauma will now be added to this list.
This statement goes on, we've put this to Goldsmiths, the statement goes on, self-certification for this kind of support is common at universities and students are entitled to proper support when the need arises. A student must submit a detailed statement which is carefully considered by academic departments who then decide an appropriate response.
They say up.
Yeah, that was GB News, by the way. That's the new news channel in the UK, who I think potentially, possibly, could be like the right-wing Fox News of the UK. Yeah, so that black woman, I'm not giving her any credence. Sorry, she, until proven otherwise, she's in a certain box, which I'm not gonna throw the name out.
So hearing that again, it does sound like there's already something in there, and they've just added an extra word to it.
Yeah,
because there was one there for trauma already.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying to you.
So it sounds like there has to be an incident that's happened and occurred before you can do it. So if that's the case,
in which case the police incident, like I said,
makes sense.
Which then makes it discretionary, like I was saying, as opposed to a blanket thing. Yeah. So if that is the case, then it's not really much of a victory for one.
Yeah, I don't understand why they needed it. What was wrong with just trauma? Why did they have that racial?
Well, everything will have to.
So white people can't.
Well, now if you've been pulled over 20 times and on the 21st time, and as far as you're concerned, it's just because you're black, but they pulled you over, they search you, and then they let you go. Didn't do anything else. You could say that's traumatic for me. I've had enough.
Yeah, but you could have said that before.
No, because somebody could say it doesn't matter. You won't stop because you're white. A white person could. What are you gonna say? I'm traumatized by police.
But I'm thinking that it can qualify as just trauma. Potentially it can qualify. Like, I think trauma is trauma, and racial trauma is trauma brought about because of race.
Yeah.
But you don't have to categorize it so granularly if you don't want to. And my question now is, does the racial trauma clause hold more weight than the normal trauma clause? And what is the extra consideration for racial trauma over trauma?
Same. If it's in the same box.
So it don't make the bomber clout sense, then, does it?
Georgette?
I don't know, man.
You tired?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Last thing, very quickly. Derek Chauvin, 22 years sentence.
Oh yeah, wow.
Gaza, we say forever or nah?
22 years is better than I expected.
Same.
And a half.
But I think they had to.
Yeah, they had to. He's a sacrificial lamb. I don't think the white people like him.
They didn't have to. They didn't have to. There's enough people they haven't given.
Nah, I don't think even the white people like this one.
I think that going on the whole magnitude of the situation, it is a small victory. There was a case where I haven't got the details, but not so long ago, a man shot at police. He didn't kill them or anything, and he got over 200 years. A black guy, yeah. And this is the first time in a very long time that a policeman or a policewoman has been convicted.
This is 3rd degree murder, so it's different.
I get it.
That's an attempted murder, isn't it?
So my thing is that he got the 22 years. It's the first time that we've had any kind of victory like this in a long time. And also on our shores, Dalian Atkinson, the former football player who was killed by a police officer, that police officer was convicted as well. And that's the first time, and I think...
but there's no sentencing yet though, is it?
Yeah, the first time in 35 years, from my understanding, that a police officer has been found guilty.
That happened just a couple of days ago as well.
Yeah.
And this was after an appeal, because he got off the first time, didn't he?
Yeah.
So if they didn't appeal, then he would still be chilling.
So I'm not sure. I don't know. I mean, based on what happened last year with the whole protests and things like that, does anybody think that made a difference in the sentencing?
Of course.
Yeah. And in relation to Dalian Atkinson's one as well?
Potentially.
So when some people say that protesting doesn't work in it.
But Dalian Atkinson's also famous as well. So
he is famous, but George Floyd wasn't.
No, George Floyd one is definitely because of the rights. I'm just saying Dalian Atkinson partially it's going to be the rights and partially because he's famous.
I don't think it had anything to do with his fame, bruv. Honestly, because although he was a footballer back in the day, he wasn't.
Yeah, he's not.
No.
Yeah, but a lot of people.
It was in the time of John Barnes. You know what I mean? And
yeah, but
people know John Barnes, but you mentioned Dalian Atkinson to someone who doesn't really know sport or football. They'll say,
I have no idea who
the hell is that?
That person
Do you know what I mean? But it's two. I would say that two small victories. You know what I mean? It's nothing for us to party about, but definitely something for us to put our thumbs up to.
Do you feel that 22 years is good enough?
No, but I'm happy that he got something.
Okay. Well, you can only get up to 30, innit?
And why didn't he get the maximum? Do you know what I mean?
Because obviously they clearly thought they didn't.
Sometimes it's your first crime, as heinous as it is.
Yeah,
stuff
but
like that.
Yeah, but that's the reason why he didn't get the minimum. So they based the fact that he overused his power and the fact that he was in public, children were around and things like that. That's the reason why they didn't give the minimum.
No, that's the reason why they didn't give him the maximum. Oh, look, but they didn't give him the maximum. Then for what I said?
No, that's the reason why they didn't.
No, for what I said. If it's your first crime, it's like if you were a serial criminal, then I'll give you the top 30 years because this shows you as this is the type of person you are. Go away for good. This is your first crime ever.
From my understanding, they didn't count that at all.
No,
in the sentencing.
No, because the judge wrote like a massive document with like umpteen pages of explanations of why he came to the decision he came to. So I haven't actually read it, so I'm just talking. I'm just talking. But usually they will talk about your previous as opposed to. They'll include that into why they give you the decision they give you. If you were a person that was doing community work and this and that, and you just snapped exactly the same crime as somebody else who was a serial criminal, you will get two different terms, even though it's exactly the same crime you did, because your history shows you're this person and your history showed you're that person. So I'm giving you a crime, I'm giving you the punishment, not just based on the crime you're doing, but the person you are. So in this case, you were a policeman. As far as we're concerned, you were an upstanding citizen up until that point.
No,
Yeah, but I'm just talking. Okay, right, I'm fine.
I'm just saying that he had other convictions.
Not convictions.
Not convictions, but other offences.
Yeah, but they're not convictions. So
I know, but he wasn't an upstanding individual.
But to the law, he is because he hasn't been convicted by them.
Unfortunately,
he hasn't even gone to court for any of them as far as I know. This was all internal police stuff. So it's like you doing something in your job, and then they're not going to say, "Well, at work you stole a chocolate bar from the machine, so I'm going to give you an extra 6 months."
Unless you're black.
Unless you're black.
Unless you're black. But you get my point. I'm just trying to make a point. I'm saying that is potentially why they didn't give him the full 30 years.
Potentially. I think I'm not 100% sure that that's the case.
I think that it's only right that randomly throughout that 22-year sentence, they should put their knee on his neck to the point where he's almost about to pass out, and then let up, just randomly.
They're gonna protect him in prison.
That's the type of protection he needs. A knee on the neck, just so he knows what it's like.
He's being punished now, man. They're gonna punish him. So let's see how it goes.
Everyone else answered?
Gaza.
Well, this one and this one and this one. Okay.
Are we done?
You got 22 years.
You're messing with things, bruv. I can't hear something now.
Okay. All right. So, on that note, we are gonna do our church notes.
Moving mad, bruv.
We're gonna do our church notes and our goodbyes. I'll start off with Mr. Wolf.
Sorry, sir. I did business. AKA Mr. Wolf, Twitter, AKA underscore, AKA Mr. Wolf on Insta,
wow,
underscore Mr. Wolf on Insta. Are you okay, bro? Just relax.
I don't know what you're doing.
I got
You said AK 96 times.
Tongue twister.
You said AK
or multitasking is a problem for
He said
somebody.
AK 47
maybe.
times.
Are you done though?
Yeah, man.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Wolf. Big Wahala.
Give me an applause.
At Big Wahala on Insta, at Big Wahala on Twitter. What's good, people? Check out City on the Hill. It's a show with Kevin Bacon and that black dude from wherever that program is that where they was running it from the slaveries. I forgot what it's called.
There's too many of those programs.
On Netflix.
There's too many.
Running from the slaveries.
Running from the slaveries. You know, it's the same black guy in One Night in Miami who played the American football star.
Okay.
Yeah, him. He's in it. So it's quite a good program actually. It's about Boston cop and Boston DA and them dealing together. It's good. So check it out.
What's it called?
City on the Hill.
All right. Cool. Is it finished? Can I watch the whole thing? Can I binge?
There's two seasons.
Oh, really? I've never heard of it. Simple Simon.
At Simple Simon FB on Twitter. I don't have Instagrams this week. I'm plugging a flim, as we say in Jamaica. Plugging a film called Wrath of Man. That's
You thought that was good?
Jason Statham one. It's alright. That one I thought it was alright.
I prefer that better than Nobody or whatever.
And then the next one that I'm gonna plug also is called Infinite. That was an interesting concept. Who has what's his name? Chittafur, the guy that played 12 Years a Slave.
Chiwetel.
Yeah, Chiwetel.
Ejiofor, yeah. So he's in that one.
He directs it as well, though.
But Infinite.
Is that the new film?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just directed. It's his first directorial debut.
Yeah.
So and he stars in it. So I'm assuming it's the same film.
I just watched that the other day. It was alright, not too bad. So give that a look, give that a turn if you get an opportunity. What else is there? I've been doing up watching, still. Doing up watching. I'm not even sure about what else is. Yeah, them two anyway. Wrath of Man and Infinite.
Yes.
Go and do the thing.
Thank you very much. I'll do mine. I am Stavros Boss. You can catch me at Stavros Boss on all your social media. Stavros says this week is 2. 1 is the film Fast 9. It's the worst in the franchise. By far. And
I still enjoyed it though.
Sorry?
I still enjoyed it though.
She did. I was surprised, man. She loved it. She was pumping her fist in the screen.
No one can hear you properly. But.
Yeah. But yeah, my missus, Mr. Wolf said my missus liked it. Yeah. So yeah, but because I'm still a fan of the franchise, my heart is still there, and I still want it to make money. Don't ask me why. It's about family. So that's one. And then the second one is a podcast called Descendants. It's by BBC. It's about racism in this country and how it has affected things in this country, talking about slavery and its effects in this country continuing on from the conversation we had last week, Simple Simon, and continuing on from everything we discussed this week. It's 8 parts. It's about half an hour an episode. It's not even half an hour an episode. It is very good. I really suggest you all listen to Descendants on BBC. Now to our wonderful and very sick
I'm
with
not sick,
hay
I
fever.
just
Okay, tired, fatigued.
Hay fever,
allergies,
just
man.
me God. Anyway, guys, at _Georgette on everything. As I said, I'm gonna plug something. If you're into anime and you haven't been to the cinema, I would strongly suggest to go and watch Demon Slayer, the movie, because it's actually sick. Rengoku is a G. If you're watching the series and you're waiting for the next season to come out, definitely watch the film in between. That's what
Is it a new film or is it just?
It's a new film.
Okay, Demon Slayer.
And
is it actually out in screens? Did you watch it in the cinema?
Yeah, I did. It was sick.
Okay. Your socials?
I did already.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us, Georgette.
Thank you for having me.
Hopefully we'll have you.
For so long.
Yeah.
No, it's good to have you, man. And I'd like to have you back again.
I would love to come back.
That'd be nice.
Soon come. All right. Thank you for joining us on episode 310 of the Eloquently Saying Nothing podcast. Hashtag ESN pod on the social medias to start or join in the conversation. Let us know what you want us to discuss next week and what you're happy or unhappy you have us discussing this week. At ESN podcast on all the social medias. Follow us and rate and review us on all your podcast apps. Thank you very much. We are blessed. We hope you are too.
And remember, if you ain't saying nothing, say it well.
Slag for life.
Like get lost, your energy just want peace. I couldn't even tell you his energy cause he don't speak. He ain't even call you his bitch.
This is Tyler the Creator. This song is Wilshire. It's a love story. It's like an 8-minute love story. It's wicked.
I pick you up, your energy off.
In fact, he said everybody says it's bros before hoes. Not me.
I don't like the fact that we didn't talk about Matt Hancock resigning.
For real?
We didn't talk about Matt. He resigned, bruh.
I don't care.
He's no longer there. He resigned, bruh.
I don't care.
He resigned on some pussy.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, rodents and other small insects, welcome to the ESN podcast.